Welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
All right, here we are. Happy Wednesday. I always announce the day of the week at the beginning of the show to remind me what the day of the week is. It's half of a test, so to find out if I know or not, and then half to, remember. If I say it out loud, it's like when you meet somebody and you're supposed to say their name out loud so you remember their name. If I say the day of the week out loud, I'll remember what day of the week it is. So, happy Wednesday. I think I nailed that one. I hope it's going to be a great one for everybody. I really do. So I can only help you through the morning. The rest is up to you. But it's going to be a good morning. I mean, it's not a good morning for everybody. I feel bad for this fifth inmate. They got him. They got him. He was running free. He had from and now it's one thing to bust out of jail and you have like a day and then you're back in jail. You're kind of like, okay, you didn't really get it out of your system. But they got this guy, yesterday, on Tuesday. So if they got out Thursday night, going into Friday, they didn't tell anybody about it until much later on Friday. But they had all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. That's 4 full days. I feel like 4 full days is just when it starts to kind of sink in. Oh, my God, I think I'm home free. Like, the weekend, you're still like, okay, they might grab me. But when they don't get you Monday, and what time did they get him on Tuesday?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because that also...
By the way, you know full well the difference between a nice 3-day weekend and a 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend is like a vacation.
So that's what this guy was on.
Right. 3-day weekend is, okay, you got a chance to catch your breath. A 4-day weekend is, I don't remember what life was like before this. It's going to be a weird transition getting back into the swing of things. Like, 4-day weekend is when you go, I think this might be my new life. I think, this is, whatever I'm doing, this is the new me, right? I'll go, wait, from now on, I think I just dine in a Dunkin' every single day. And then I wake up on the Tuesday. If I'm off on Friday and Monday, I'll wake up on the Tuesday and go, I don't understand. Like, now I'm up early. Now my whole routine is broken. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. So I get it. I get escaping from jail for 4 days and then having to go back to the pokey. Now, I would imagine everybody, I would think, at least to the other inmates, maybe not to the prison guards so much, but at least to the other inmates, they go back heroes. Like, the inmates are probably, applauding them for getting out and going, oh, what'd you spend your 4 days doing? But...
By the way, this is the murder guy.
And he's the one who really, really wanted it the most.
Yeah.
Probably mostly his idea. Why wouldn't he do it better? He had 4 days and they still were able to find him. 4 days feels like the amount of time where you're like, well, if you don't catch him in 4 days, it's probably, you might find him 6 months from now because he gets sloppy. But 4 days is enough time to really get very far away.
He's also the youngest at 19.
Oh, okay.
So that probably had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah. So he's a poor decision maker.
They probably caught him buying Robux or something.
Yeah, he probably was. He probably was using his real name and his birth date when they were like, I want to get into the games with guns. And he was like, okay, here's my name and birth date. Yeah, they said he was captured and they also said that they got a maintenance worker with the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, that this guy was arrested, somebody who worked in the prison, was arrested for willfully and maliciously assisting with the escaped, according to a search warrant affidavit. He was charged with 1 count of malfeasance, which you never want to be charged with malfeasance in office, and 10 counts, which is probably because of the amount of inmates, of principal to simple escape. His bond was set at $1.1 million, $100,000 for each charge he's facing, which doesn't feel wholly necessary. I don't think a maintenance worker in the prison is going to come up with the $100K, let alone $1.1 million to get out of jail before his court hearing. Although, I mean, if he's so good at helping people escape, he should just escape now.
Yeah, he knows all the tricks.
He knows all the tricks. Now he'll still have to go back to court, so that probably won't do that much good. Yeah, but I want to know, like, so they said he turned off the water. Like, that's how they did it. He turned off the water. And I don't know if, I mean, is he like a dumb guy and they kind of tricked him into just turning off the water? Did he help them?
Sam, keep reading.
Oh. If the water had still been on, the plan to escape would not have been successful and potentially flooded the cell, drawing attention to their actions. I mean, there were 10 missing prisoners, and it didn't draw attention to their actions until the next morning. I think they could have flooded out that prison, and nobody would have noticed for at least 2 hours.
Or they would have been like, there's not usually water over there.
They go like this. They'd be sloshing around the puddles, and they go, is it wetter than usual?
Huh.
I don't think so. No, I think this has always been flooded out. Okay, well, I'm off to get a po' boy. He had previously, so this worker.
No, I think you're.
Oh. William said that Antoine Massey is the I think mastermind behind this.
He is still at large, so maybe.
Yeah, threatened to shank him if he didn't turn off the water to the cell used in the breakout, according to the affidavit. So, I mean,
that's what he says.
What do you think? Why else would he have done it? Because he wanted to be friends? I mean,
well, no. What I'm saying is he's saying
I was threatened,
but maybe he's friends with these guys, you know?
And just been like, yeah, I'll do you a solid. We'll hang out after this.
Yeah.
If I'm friends with inmates, I'm not helping them escape. I'm going to pretend to help them escape.
Yeah, but you're just turning the water off to an empty cell.
No, but I want them to hang with me. You know, I want, like, if you guys were my friends, and
we are, I think. Yeah.
Oh. And you were going to escape Sirius XM, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll help you guys. I'll help you. But I wouldn't really be helping because I'd want you guys to hang with me. You know what I mean? Okay. So, like, I don't think that
you think the maintenance worker has no friends outside of jail, and
these are his friends.
Right. Okay.
And so he wouldn't have helped his friends because he wants to hang with them because they make the workday go faster.
Okay.
You don't want, because you go like, oh, yeah, you're my friends, I'll help you. And then you go to the work the next day, and all your friends are gone. 10 of your friends are gone. I wonder if he really, like, or he was just doing a favor for his friend. And he was like, could you turn the water off? It's just loud. And he's like, okay. And then the next morning, there were like 10 inmates escaped through where the water was. And he was like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What did I just do? Yeah. No, I mean, I believe that he was threatened. Now, but he didn't come. Did he come forward? Right? No, that's the suspicious part, right? Like if he was threatened, you would think, or maybe he doesn't want to come forward right away because even though those inmates that threatened you are gone, if one of the other inmates hears that you have ratted the escaped inmates out, then you're going to get threatened with more shanks.
Or maybe you're just scared, like when a young kid does something wrong,
yeah,
and they don't want to like admit what they did yet because they think they're going to get in a lot of trouble.
And they're going to go to jail.
Well, I don't know if the kid is going to go to jail.
Well, if he helped 10 inmates escape and he worked at the prison, he's definitely going to jail.
That's probably jail.
There's 10 counts. Yeah. So whatever, even if it's a small charge times 10, everything's way bigger.
But like maybe it's less if you come forward immediately.
He didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was probably scared.
Yeah, he could probably make a deal for like, what if you just like charge me for like 8? I didn't know 2 of them were going to go with them.
Yeah, that one is my bad.
Yeah, I did it for
won't do that again.
I thought I was doing it for 3. And then they just kept running.
You saw the video.
Yeah, they just kept going. I had no idea. So I'll take 3. But I mean, 10 is excessive. Yeah, I think that they should really, and this is a controversial stance that I have. I think they should try to have less shanks in jail.
But there's so many things you can make a shank out of.
I know, and I didn't know, and apparently, like, they have some kind of program where everybody learns how to make shanks, because they're like, oh, I need a toothbrush, and you go, oh, okay, that seems fine, here's a toothbrush. And 3 days later, the edge is razor sharp, and you're like, how the hell did you do that? I mean, if you guys have put this much effort into not getting arrested. If prisoners put the same amount of effort into not getting arrested that they did into making shanks, I feel like we'd have a lot less crime.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
You know who never remembered or didn't forget to turn on my mic? Mike.
Well,
Yeah, you should take it personally.
don't get him upset. His blood pressure is going to go through the roof.
Did you take your medication today?
I am not on medication.
That's why.
He should be.
Sleeping behind the wheel.
Yeah, they take apart their bed in prison and make, make it into a shank.
They're like, I just want a bed. Just give me a bed. And they're like, okay, fine. You can have a bed. What happened to that third? Why is the third leg so sharp on that bed? Did you make a shank out of your bed? No. Yes. Yes,
also,
I did.
I don't think if they just spent their time not doing crime, as you just said, like that's not where they're working the problem that they're in right now.
That's the problem.
Right.
They need to put this. If they have the ability to put effort into something, put effort into not doing crimes as opposed to making shanks.
Sometimes crime is what you have to do.
Listen, crime doesn't pay. Okay?
Sometimes it does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Crime doesn't pay. I found that out from a very reliable source. He was a dog in a trench coat. And he told me that crime actually does not pay. And you end up in jail where all that great energy that you have to use to make shanks. It says this dude had previously escaped from a detention center in North Louisiana.
So this is the guy that
this is the guy that escaped. This is the guy that
shank him.
Right, that threatened to shank our friend, the maintenance worker, who's now in a lot of trouble. And also, it feels like to put the maintenance worker in an orange jumpsuit and be like, now you're in jail. If I'm the maintenance worker, I'm like, don't try to arrest me just because you couldn't keep the other 10 in prison.
Oh,
like,
I see.
You know what I mean? Like all those other, like you're acting like you're doing something now. Like you guys could not keep those other 10 in prison. And now you're sitting there going like, well, you're under arrest. Okay, fine. Like you got one new inmate, but 9 still unaccounted for. Please, please stop right there. So this guy that threatened the maintenance worker with a shank, allegedly. I don't want to get sued by the escaped prison guy. That would be great if it's like, well, he filed a defamation lawsuit against radio show host Sam Roberts, but it also, and he won the case. Sam has to pay out, but also it made it so authorities were really, it made it very easy for them to capture him and put him right back in jail. This dude had previously escaped from a detention center in North Louisiana in 2019. He and another inmate broke out of the Morehouse Parish Detention Center before being recaptured in Lancaster, Texas. They cut through the wire of a chain link fence. This is the first escape.
Yeah.
At the exercise yard of the facility and then crawled under it in broad daylight in August of 2019. That is sometimes, I mean, that's that hidden in plain sight thing where people are really not paying attention because there's so many guards. It's like, well, they're not gonna try anything now.
And you become complacent.
Right.
Like as a guard, you're like, nobody's just gonna leave right now.
That's right.
So this guy, he's got ideas.
That's what I mean. He's a smart guy, and this is the guy who's making the shanks. If this guy can escape from 2 prisons and make shanks on the level that he's scaring maintenance workers, he probably could contribute to society in some way.
Okay.
Like, he's got great ideas. He shows an incredible amount of initiative. He got 9 people to go with him here. He got a partner back there. Like,
You're just assuming he's the one in charge.
He's got to be the one in charge. He escaped twice.
And under your rules, he's out.
Twice he's out.
Yeah.
He got away with
That's
2
true.
crimes. But, I mean, like, he figured out 2 different ways to escape from jail. And imagine escaping from jail, being caught, going back to jail, serving out the rest of your sentence, getting arrested again, going to jail, and you're like, I'm going to escape again.
I think I'm going to do it again.
And there's no part of you that goes, well, they caught me the last time. I don't think I'm going to do it this time. It's so hard. You're like, nope. I'm going to get this. I'm going to jimmy this toilet off the wall. And then I'm going to maybe use the same thing I used to jimmy the toilet off the wall to threaten that maintenance worker, tell him to turn off the water. I mean, this is a guy with a never say die attitude. This is a guy with no quit in him.
You want him on your team.
If he wasn't on the run right now, I would, and I won't say who, replace one of you guys with him. And I won't say which one because I don't want any of you guys to feel bad. But discuss amongst yourselves when I'm gone.
Is Hot Dog possible? Is he in this?
Of course. Yeah. Definitely possible. Right, cool. Yeah, because it's him. But yeah, but I mean, imagine knowing it's like that's a guy who if he tells you I'm going to get this done, it's getting done. And it could get done in a way that you never considered. How long has that toilet been on that wall? Forever.
And he's the one that thought of it.
Right. Now, if somebody had given him some grammar classes, maybe he would have written the right two.
Well, we don't know if he's
when he
the one
wrote
that
too
wrote.
easy. I think he did it all. I give him full credit for everything. He's a role model.
Okay.
And I wouldn't get on him about spelling errors. I mean, everybody makes spelling errors.
Not everybody. Some people make really, really stupid ones. And I only call out like 70% of them.
I'm looking at line 1 right now.
Yeah, there's a...
But you know what I'm saying.
That's like a British spelling almost.
Of which word?
A tourney. Yeah, I mean, I have to sit there with like a Rosetta Stone, a Troy Rosetta Stone, so I can just get through. Like, because sometimes I'll point out the spelling errors, but other times I just want to get through the conversation that we're having.
And that should be the attitude all the time. Is just get through.
Well, yeah, but I'm sitting there putting real effort into figuring out what these words are supposed to say.
Well, I understand why he would write defense.
Yeah,
Because fence is a word.
Yeah, but but then like you're distracted by a capitalized defense.
And offense has defense has an S.
No, I know that.
Oh, you know that.
Of course.
My bad.
But it says defense. It's like French. It's like a criminal defense.
But you know what I'm saying.
You're ad-libbing.
I know, but I had, and then a tourney.
You're right. That is a British way.
It's a British, like, I don't think that the British actually do that, but if he were like, maybe I'll try to impress the guys, like elevator or something, you know what I mean? Like the British, they'll throw U's in there and you won't know what they're doing.
Color.
Yeah. In color, the Brits spell it O-U-R, which I feel like that's how you think attorney is also spelled.
Okay. Okay, do you feel better now?
Because, like, you are a musician. You know that word is tour.
I mean, I know if you go on tour, I know what that means.
But that would be a tourney. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you throw that word in there, you would still pronounce it the same way.
A tourney.
But who
A
gives
tourney.
shit? Like, is this?
Yeah, you know what
You're derailing the show. Why? Like, why? What do you give a shit?
Well,
about
we
this?
were talking about the spelling of the inmates.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. That's right. I just wish you had
And then
more.
you said I wouldn't hold that against them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But here's the problem.
Okay.
Because the spelling errors are the same between you and the inmate.
Well, no, I know the difference between 2 and 2.
You would write the wrong two.
No, I wouldn't.
Because you'd be excited. You'd be excited.
Oh, that's a good point.
And then, you know what the best part if we were escaping jail together would be? You'd write it, and I'd go, yeah, man, that's awesome. And as soon as we got on the other side of the highway, I'd be like, you wrote the wrong two. And you go, you fucking, what?
Why didn't you tell me that when I was doing it?
And I'd be crying laughing. They're going to think you're stupid. I go, you better hope they don't catch you, and you better hope they don't catch me. I'm going to tell them you wrote it.
Okay, but they know what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you can read it.
You get the point.
Right. Right. I just hope that Troy has the never say die attitude, that he would keep trying to escape from prisons like this other guy, because that's the only thing that would make up for it.
That's true.
And I don't know if he does.
I would try again. I mean, what do you got to lose?
That's it. All right. That's a great point.
If you're in there for life, it's like, fucking go for it.
And then you get some guy, you're like, the guy's in there for a year. And you're like, you come with me. It'd be great to escape, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Ruin his life. So, yeah, when he escaped from the prison in the other prison in Louisiana and ended up in Texas, a vehicle with Texas tags was seen in a rural area and that was believed to have picked them up. Is that the guy?
That's Mr. Williams.
Who's Mr. Williams?
He's the maintenance worker.
The maintenance worker. Poor guy. He gets threatened with a shank and now he's on $1 million bail. This guy. That feels like a storyline from the HBO prison drama Oz. In the other escape, deputies and correction officers were on the scene within minutes, but the men had already gotten away. In this case that we're talking about, deputies and sheriffs were on the scene in 12 to 15 hours. So if he was able to get all the way to Texas with like 10 minutes of notice, imagine how good he's going to do now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's way...
That's why I thought it was important to include that.
And if he's going all the way to Texas in that one, he's got to be in Mexico. Right? I mean, that's why you head towards Texas. I mean,
if you got a way to get into Mexico, like, you know, hiding somewhere, then
just
yeah,
he probably just started speaking with an accent and they deported him.
That's true.
You know what I mean? He probably just showed up.
Just walking around the border.
Yeah, he was like, hey, hola. And they were like, get out!
Maybe he took advantage of that self-deportation thing,
right?
Where they're offering like thousands of dollars,
right? Yeah, they just gave them. It's like, hello, I'm in MS-13 and I'm here illegally. May I be deported? And they're like, yep, here's $1,000. Enjoy yourself. We accidentally deported the inmate.
Ah, shit.
And the Mexican government's like, too bad, we're keeping him. He's actually really impressive, the way this guy's brain works. Greg in Texas. What's up, Greg?
That's getting transferred to wherever state you're in. Like in Texas, we have what's called the Holiday Unit in Huntsville, Texas. That's the state prison system. They send you there first, they process you, then they send you off to whatever is camp or unit that you got to go to in the state of Texas.
That's what Chingy was singing about.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen you're talking about shanks. I've seen shanks made out of the most craziest things. Toothbrushes are a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a shank was made out of a newspaper.
How do you make a shank out of a newspaper? How much?
Enough newspaper, it'll get hard.
It wasn't a shank. It was
That's
more.
what she
And
said.
he made a bow and arrow out of a newspaper using milk. He put
What?
the milk. He soaked the paper in milk, put it on his little mirror in his cell, and it dried out. And
Whoa,
then,
like paper mache.
Like papier-mâché.
Yeah.
roll up really tight, and if he would have shot it at somebody, it would have penetrated the skin.
It's a good thing that you didn't say this to Troy, because like if he had to write paper mache, he would have started bleeding out of his ears.
I would have been fucked.
Yeah. Like he'd be like, paper mache, you say. Is there any way else to phrase this art? Like, is there any way else you could write that? Or
I would have Googled it before I put it in.
Smart. AI would have helped you out with that one. That's crazy that they
you have to
paper.
think of.
That's amazing that they paper mache a shank. But you see what I mean? Like if you could take the brain power and the sort of stick-to-itiveness and the intuitiveness to make a paper mache shank to either protect yourself or get what you want, I feel like you could use those same brain powers for good.
You would think that. But that's what you were saying earlier, though. These guys have got 24 hours a day to figure out how to make the officers or guards' lives miserable or how to get themselves out of their situation. In these guys' situation, I'm not for sure about their court cases or whether they've been already convicted or not, or their previous escapes. But I know when I was in corrections, if someone had an escape rap on them before, then that automatically pumped them up to maximum security. So we had to keep a special eye on them.
Well,
We wasn't going to give them a chance to do it again.
What do you think? And apparently they didn't, or it didn't matter. What do you think of this maintenance worker that they said he got threatened by a shank?
Okay, well, it can happen.
Yeah.
However, if it's in a jail situation, I just don't see it happening because
I think it's a prison situation.
if it's a prison
jail.
situation, it might
It's
be a
jail.
little bit.
This was
different
jail?
because
Yeah,
other
New
people
Orleans
involved.
jail.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, all right. I stand corrected. I thought this was prison. This is jail.
The Orleans
Jail.
Parish
So-
Correctional Facility.
They offered it. They probably offered him money. He
Yeah.
said no. Then they threatened to kill him. He said you can try, and then they probably threatened his family.
Threaten the family. That's it. That's the way they do
finding
it.
out.
There it is.
So he was coerced, but he still didn't have to go through with it.
I guess. Thank you, Greg. That's the type of heartlessness. He didn't have to go through with it, but he was scared. I'd be scared.
I would do the same thing.
100%.
I would turn that water off so fast.
Yeah. They'd be like, hey, could you do me a favor? Whatever you need.
Yeah, take my pants off.
Yeah. And then it's like, I don't want that.
You're like, okay.
Can you just turn the water off? You're like, yeah, that actually is much easier. He's like, I just asking. I didn't even have a shank or anything. I was just like, why are your pants down? Oh,
Why is your hole open?
I was just scared.
I don't I don't know. Oh, okay. No, I don't know. Okay. Ed in Philly.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Sorry for bothering you at work.
It's okay.
I'm a post-conviction attorney in Philly.
Attorney.
And I represented a guy reviewing his case, an older homicide from the late 70s. He had escaped in 86 or 87, and spent 2 years out.
Whoa!
They arrested him at his house.
No, come on. After 2 years?
They arrested 2 years, and they arrested him at his house.
Come on.
Why would you go back to your house?
Why? It's been 2 years at some point. Where else?
I said, why didn't you just get the fuck out of Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
He stayed in PA.
He just put his head down and just shook it. He didn't have words.
I also love that in Pennsylvania, there's so much shit going on that you could not leave the state and be okay for 2 years.
Yeah, it was mind-blowing.
Yeah, I'd be in France or something, waiting to have breakfast with Batman and nod at him. Like, you'd never see me again. But, I would imagine on your end when you're like, okay, because he's trying to, appeal, he's saying he didn't do it. And you're like, okay, I'll take this case on. Let me, try to figure out how we can prove you didn't do it. When he escapes from jail and gets caught, you're like, well, you just made my life a lot easier. I mean, more difficult. You made my life a lot more difficult because, how am I going to... Because juries now aren't going to believe... I mean, judges aren't going to believe if you didn't do it because you're not the type to kill somebody, but you're the type to escape from jail. It makes things more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of wrongful convictions in Philly. So I do a lot of reviews of old homicides, and I was looking. There was just nothing there, but that didn't help either. The fact that he had a
escaped
35-year-old at the time escape.
Ned, but it must feel so good when you look at a case. You're like, oh, this guy really is innocent, and you can actually get them out of jail. That must feel amazing.
Yeah, next to having kids, that's about the best feeling I've ever had.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ed, and keep up the good work, man.
Thanks, dude.
All right, bud. Mike in Pennsylvania.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I was wondering yesterday you were hyping up the Count of Monte Cristo. I also love the story very much. I was wondering if you ever read the book at all. I
mean, I figured they couldn't do better than Guy Pearce, so I just watched the Guy Pearce movie over and over and over again.
He did it.
Guy Pearce was, he wasn't the Count, obviously. It was, what's his guy's name that played Jim Caviezel. Jim Caviezel was amazing in that movie. It was Jim Caviezel as the Count of Monte Cristo, and Guy Pearce as that piece of shit who betrayed him. Oh, he got what was coming, though. He got what was coming. Although in the movie, the whole point of the Count of Monte Cristo is that one of the points is that maybe, revenge wasn't really fulfilling like he thought it was, except in the movie they literally spend 30 seconds at the very end going, I guess that wasn't fulfilling, but they really make it seem no, actually it was very fulfilling. As a viewer, when the Count gets his revenge, you're like, oh, that was great. Revenge is fulfilling.
Yeah, that movie is a real abomination. It has to be the worst book adaptation movie of all time.
There's another one last year.
It's really, really bad.
The one last year was
French. The one that came out,
yeah,
that one's a lot more honest to the book. It's a lot better.
Yeah,
it is in French, so that kind of sucks. But you should read the book if you like the story. The unabridged book is amazing. You would really love it.
All right, thank you very much, Mike.
Just read it.
I will.
You don't like to read.
I don't have time.
No. You do like to read.
I like to read.
You intend to read.
I have so many books that I intend to read.
Because we're the exact same way. I buy so many books.
I have stacks of books.
And I'm like, I cannot wait to read this.
I go like this. Oh, man, I'm going to read this book, Chaos. And then I start reading the first 7 pages. And then I go, all right, I'm going to put this down for now. For now.
Chaos, I flew through.
And then it starts collecting dust. And then the Netflix doc comes out. And you're like, okay, I got it.
But you take the train in every day, do some reading.
I chill on the train. Can't interrupt my chill time.
Get in the zone.
I got to stay in my zone. By the way, and I tell people, don't let me get in my zone. And then I show up here, I'm definitely in my zone.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
What?
It's 1,276 pages.
I mean, it's a grandiose story. It's a classic.
No. Watch the movie. You did it.
I mean, the movie is like a real bastardization. It really, it's clearly
1,200 pages.
because he's told revenge isn't satisfying, but then he gets revenge, and they spend the whole movie building up to the revenge, and then at the very, very end, after he gets revenge, he just says that wasn't that satisfying, and then they roll the credits. Like it's like clearly it was satisfying. I felt it. It was awesome, but they really did dumb it down. They simplified it for us idiots in the movie.
They do a lot.
Right. But Jim Caviezel, I mean, it's still a great movie. Jim Caviezel.
He's Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, is that who he
played Count of Monte Cristo, and then he played Jesus, and
Passion of
then
the Christ?
Yeah, and then it's hard after that to go. And then he was in the super controversial
Trafficking.
the trafficking movie. What the
Traffic?
No, it wasn't Traffic. Traffic's good, but it was
Hang on.
yeah. The one that everybody was in an uproar, and if you saw it, then you were MAGA.
Sound of Freedom.
Yep.
Sound of Freedom. Yeah, if you admitted that you saw it, you were MAGA, but if you didn't see it, you were pro-trafficking.
That's right.
Right.
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
So you had to pick a side.
Which one are you on?
Which one are you?
I love how everything's a side.
You have to. And then and then it showed up on Amazon Prime. I was like, I'll check this out.
Oh, so you're a MAGA.
Fuck. Oh, I should. Oh my God! Did I just say that out loud? I did. I did. I watched the film.
I saw it too, and it's like, I don't know what the big
It really.
Like, why are people freaking out about this?
They were freaking out, and it's like everything. It's like reading headlines. They were freaking out about what the idea of the movie was on both ends. Most of them had not seen it, and they were just going crazy. Trying to, because it was adopted so much by one side or the other. This QAnon guy over here, this trafficking guy over there, and you're like, well, it's like a trafficking story that's very actionified for movies.
Yeah.
I
think there are a lot of people, though. I guess what people get upset about is there are people that don't want to admit that that's a real issue.
Which is odd, too.
That's very odd, yes.
So you don't want to admit that it's a real, because obviously it's a real issue.
He was also an uncredited basketball player in Blue Chips.
Who was? Jim Caviezel? Yeah. I love Blue Chips.
Yeah,
Nick Nolte he's yelling at Shaq so much, and Shaq is like, you need a Shack-a-Roni. It's such a good movie. John in Canada?
Hey, buddy. First off, Troy, doing an awesome job. Fuck the spelling. You got bigger shit to worry about, so don't worry about that.
Thanks.
I mean,
well, you're welcome.
You could say that, but I don't think you could name anything.
Half his job.
Well, you can decipher the spelling. It's all right. Listen, I got breaking news about one of the outstanding inmates.
Oh, my gosh.
This is considered one of the more dangerous guys.
Okay.
Apparently, he was in... Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm at work. Apparently, he was in...
What do you
originally
do for off, buddy?
No, I'm on a farm.
Real manual.
Maybe a little bit of that, too, if it gets boring.
Sure.
Apparently, he was in originally for luring a... What's that?
Do you jerk off cattle on your farm?
What are you going?
No, it's a racehorse farm.
Oh, nice.
but no.
Not that kind of farm.
Not that kind of farm. Apparently, this dude was in for luring an unsuspecting long-bearded tourist off the strip and stealing his cell phone and weed money.
Oh, no.
They'll get you every time.
Yeah, dangerous people out there.
Thank you, John. Yeah, that's very scary. What if they, track the guy because they find his phone, and then they knock on Troy's door because it was Troy's phone?
See, the problem with that is that it is such an easy crime.
Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, I'm going to take your phone, give me the cash, and then I'll be back with the weed and your phone, and I'll give it to you. You just stand right here in this dangerous area.
I'm like, okay.
You got it.
Oh, you got it, buddy.
Well, that's how you do business out here. That's how you do business out here. Do your thing.
You know what you call that?
What's that?
A life lesson.
That's right. That's a happened once issue.
That'll never happen again.
Never again.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No. Happens once.
Yep.
That's fine. That's totally fine. And you can reflect on it and go, oh, my God, I can't believe that happened.
Because in hindsight, it's like, of course.
And also then you know how you felt in the beginning of it. You kind of, that way the next time it even starts, you kind of had that flashback. You're like, nope, this is exactly how that started. No, fingers in the ears. No.
I had two friends in high school that went to Times Square to get fake IDs.
Oh, perfect spot.
And they met up with a guy.
And one of them was like, You put McLovin as your name?
And they told both of them, all right, go into the Sbarro bathroom. Give me the money. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
They waited in there for 30 minutes.
In the Sbarro bathroom.
In the Sbarro bathroom until they realized this person's not coming back.
It's idiotic. And then right? It's
like you're 16, you want a fake ID,
and you have hope. You're
like, hope.
Please.
And a little bit of naivete.
Yes.
Like you think this is how shady business works.
Yep.
But then the minute you tell the story out loud, you're like, oh my God, this is like so obviously a scam that happens every day. Like this is the type of scam and your first thought is probably like, I'm going to go to the police. And the police are just sitting there with their pen going, and you waited in the bathroom, huh? Like they've heard this story a million times. And what were you trying to buy? All right, son, you want to see yourself out? Yeah. Yes, officer. I'm sorry.
I think you learned your lesson.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, some things are just learn your lesson incidents.
Yeah.
Wayne in New Jersey.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning.
Good. I just want to say thank you very much. I woke up this morning. It's a little bit rainy and cold in Jersey, and we were talking about the escaped inmates getting down to the Mexican border, and you said they probably deported them to saying, "Hola, get out!
Get the hell out of here!"
I usually don't laugh like that out loud, and I just busted out this morning. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You got it, Wayne. You got it.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the rainy day. Can you imagine? You get out of jail, right? And who knows how long some of these inmates have been in for years, and they don't know what's happened of the world, right? And they finally settle down, and they're like, you know what? Idol's on tonight. I'm going to turn on American Idol. I'm going to see what's going on Idol, and you flip it on, and Good Charlotte is performing on American Idol. Did you see Good Charlotte? I didn't even know American Idol was still on the air, but Lionel Richie was there in the judge's chair, like getting down to with it. Good Charlotte and they didn't just perform; they performed a medley on American Idol.
They're back
in Pog form.
In Pog form.
Whoa! I remember Good Charlotte.
No, they've been gone for a while.
Yeah. No, I love.
They're back.
I love that they're like still singing like the anthem, which is about how they're not going to be like all these celebrities. One of them is literally married to Cameron Diaz,
and the other's married to Nicole Richie, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like one of them. They're an incredibly famous rich band.
Yeah.
But it's just like at this point,
I'm not gonna be like you.
Right. Not just like you.
As a teenager.
Right.
I mean, it's a banger.
Yeah.
And it is one of those like, who cares? Like even
I hated them growing up.
Me too.
Because they were like kind of like poser punk.
Yeah. That whole poser punk wave that came in, which was Good Charlotte, and then Simple Plan, and then like Yellow Card, and like all those. I hated the whole era, and part of that is also because we were also aging out.
Yep.
Like that was
a little bit, yeah.
That was the first generation where it was like, no, you guys are all out of high school. And this is for like high school kids.
And we've already been into punk for so long.
Right.
That's the thing. And they were like massively popular and still playing the Warped Tour, and people were just throwing shit at them for 30 minutes.
Yes. But now it's like
all these old bands, you can have love for them.
How do you hate on them?
You can't.
Like you made it through, dude.
Yeah.
You made that's what it is.
That's what
a lot of these and every band, if they're sitting there going like, fuck, I don't care if you're Chumbawamba. We were so big, and it all went away. I don't care if you're the Baja Men. Oh, they played us in Yankee Stadium every day. Like, oh, man, we were so big. Just white knuckle it. Just wait for it. And you will never know when it is, but at a point, there will be this collective consciousness that we will all say, you guys made it through.
It's probably about 20 years.
Yeah, about 20 years. You made it through. We're ready to celebrate you now. 20, maybe even 25.
Yeah.
We're ready to celebrate you now. Don't do anything new.
No, we don't care.
We don't care about that. Do not do anything new. But if you can come out, and even if you look silly, dress kind of like you used to.
Got fat. Who cares?
We don't care about that because we got fat too.
Yeah.
If anything, it makes us feel better. We all got fat.
Yeah.
Like, look at your audience. Like, we're all fat. So we go like, yeah, people should be fat like that. None of us are looking at Timothy Chalamet and going like, oh yeah, we support the way we're waiting for Timmy to get fat.
It's not gonna happen.
Probably not.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately not. No. But yeah, listen to Good Charlotte on Idol. I don't even. Here we go.
Here we go.
They sound great.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like they used to.
And when you're like stressing out about brain rot, this centers you a little bit. Carrie Underwood is pretending to be into it at all. Oh yeah, Lionel loves it. Lionel just loves the fact that he's getting.
Lionel.
Yeah. Lionel just loves that he's getting this next wave in his career. He's just psyched.
Sounds really good.
It sounds exactly the same. Carson Daly could be out there being like, "Here's Good Charlotte."
Man, they sound good.
Yeah, they really
And it's got to be nice to be confident enough to be able to go up there and go, "We can still play and sing our old songs."
Yeah.
Molly Crew doesn't have that confidence.
Oh,
Okay, see, you didn't know. You didn't know it was a medley. Medleys are the best because we like this too. I guess that's an Idol person. I don't know.
I don't want this guy.
No. Let's get back to Benji and Joel.
Yeah. I also think it's great that Benji's the one that married Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Right.
And not the lead singer.
Not the lead.
Not the good-looking lead singer.
The other one. The bad boy.
The bad boy.
The bad boy. Look, they're harmonizing. Are they lip syncing? I don't think so.
No, that would defeat the entire purpose of American Idol.
I forgot about the integrity of American Idol. All the big stars they've made post Kelly Clarkson.
I don't think they're lip syncing because I've seen them perform this a few times in the last couple months.
And they're good. Oh, they're getting all the they're getting all the contestants to come out. And he made a heart. Are they saying we should love them instead of rob them? You're saying I think we should rob them is the lyric of the song. Right? Because they're saying, hey, rich and famous, we should rob you.
And then he's like, please don't.
Maybe he's rich and famous, so it's like, hey, show us some love. Don't rob us. That's a terrible idea. I take that all back.
In hindsight, those lyrics were a little,
I didn't realize. Like it. On the outside, it seems like you should rob us, but once you get on the inside, trust me, guys. Like this is great. You should.
I was singing about something I didn't know about.
I didn't know. I wasn't aware. I was ignorant. Forgive my ignorance. But I like this for two reasons. Number one, I love the idea that showing Good Charlotte, any of these old bands showing up some love, is good. I love that. But also, I don't know. I'm not scared by it. There's something so comforting about the fact that I've lived to see Good Charlotte become classic rock.
Yeah.
Isn't that a wild thing? Good Charlotte is 100. Because remember when Nirvana would show up on classic rock stations and people would be like, what do you mean? This isn't classic rock. This is alternative. This is whatever.
Well, because I guess it's considered 20 years or something.
Probably,
you could put it on classic rock.
This is.
But almost everything now is classic rock. There's no rock anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Like what is even new rock? I mean, if you listen to Octane, there's new bands.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
but
there's not new bands.
They're not like it's a very the genre has shrunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
I mean mainstream.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's probably where it gets confused that there's so little rock that the mainstream is hearing that when Good Charlotte comes out and it is classic rock, there's also people going like, this is actually pretty good.
Not bad.
Like I don't hear music like this.
And it's funny the resurgence of emo-y kind of music.
Pop punk emo,
Punk. I was in Wegmans the other day, and there was this big black dude. I mean, he looked like he could have been a football player. He was working there behind the counter, and they were blasting Fall Out Boy, and he was singing every single word.
That rules.
And I was singing along with him because I was like, I forgot how fucking good Fall Out Boy is.
Do you remember what song it was?
I can't remember.
Sugar, We're Going Down Swinging.
It was one of their big ones.
Yeah.
Thanks for the memories.
Oh,
they're all good.
And by the way, I hated Fall Out Boy when they were out.
I hated
Fall Out
exactly
Boy.
Right. When they were out, you're kind of like, ugh.
Hated them.
Pete Wentz was too good looking.
Yeah, he's like a pretty guy, and it's also whiny.
Yeah, it's whiny. But when you go back, it's like, oh man, this is really fucking good.
Yeah, and you get why it was so successful when you hear it now. Like, what was the one you just? Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories. Sugar, We're Going Down Swinging.
I mean, come on.
Dance. Well, no, I still don't like Dance.
Oh, Dance is good. Come on, man.
I don't like Immortals. I don't like.
Immortals is newer though, isn't it?
Immortals is newer. I don't like this. Ain't
Centuries.
It's an arms race. I don't like Centuries. There's more Fall Out Boy songs.
But those are the newer ones.
Yes,
though.
and I don't like them.
The older ones are the one, and maybe who knows? 20 years from now, Centuries will be like, you know what? I'll show them love.
You know what?
Uma Thurman. That's a good one.
Uma Thurman.
I'm all in on Fall Out Boy.
Sounds like you are.
You love Fall Out Boy.
I don't like
that guy in the Wegmans.
I hated the "We Didn't Start the Fire." I thought that was stupid.
Terrible.
That was dumb.
That was a dumb move on their part.
That was dumb because the song was dumb. The things that they mentioned were dumb, and it was unnecessary. It just wasn't the movement. But also, I hated when Weezer did Africa in the sense that it was just annoying because
it was the exact same song.
It's the same song.
Same song. He just wanted to show that he could sing that song.
Great. Like, go to a karaoke bar.
But they did do a cover record. And if you just put it on and just let it go, like if you just need background music, it's not bad.
No, the cover record?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
They can't.
But they didn't do a bad job with
the
Africa.
TLC cover was good.
Yeah.
But like put on the Toto song. Show Toto some love. It's almost like they're just like stealing streams from Toto.
That's a good
Like
point.
if I'm in Toto, I'm like,
stop saying Toto.
That's how you would pronounce it. I'm like, hey bro, like why don't you listen to our version? Like stop giving them the clicks.
And when I listen to my Yacht Rock playlist, that is on my playlist.
Toto is?
Oh yeah. That version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a Yacht Rock playlist?
Yeah.
Loves Yacht Rock.
I love Yacht Rock.
From the doc?
I'm balls deep in Yacht Rock.
You are?
Yeah.
I love hearing that from people.
I mean, I just never knew how good Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. That is like pinnacle Yacht Rock.
You love that song.
I can't believe how fucking good that song is.
Which Doobie Brothers?
What a Fool Believes.
I'd love to hear it. Because I don't even know if I know it. I mean, I probably know it once I hear it.
Do we have it?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Mike has to reboot.
But his computer's fine.
Give me a second. Let me check the system.
Christopher Cross. I can't believe how good Christopher Cross is.
Really?
Ride Like the Wind? That song is a fucking masterpiece.
Ride Like the Wind?
Yeah.
What a Fool Believes.
Yes.
Doobie Brothers.
Sit back and enjoy.
Okay. This is on your Yacht Rock playlist.
This is number 1 on my Yacht Rock playlist.
So I already hate this.
I don't know if I've ever heard
I can't stand.
Come on.
That ping. I'm out. I'm already out.
No. You're wrong, bro. This is fire.
I hate it. I can't stand it. I hate Yacht Rock. I hate Yacht Rock, dude. I can't stand
You're
Yacht
wrong.
Rock.
No way, dude.
Jesus, you're wrong.
This is so good.
All right, I'll let it go. Is there a chorus?
Yeah. It's Michael McDonald.
I know who it is. I think Michael McDonald is a goof.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. Put those red shoes on him and sell Big Macs. No, I'm not.
He's not Ronald McDonald.
He sounds like it to me. Listen, would I dance to the hook at a wedding? Of course. I would dance to this part of the song at a wedding. But Yacht Rock was built for like those old infomercials where it would be hits of the 80s. And you would just hear hook after hook after hook. And it would trick you into buying the CD.
Listen.
Okay. This sucks. This part sucks. No, this sucks. I don't like this part. This is so like I think they were playing this at the Lord and Taylor's.
Very possible. And I wrote all this music off as a kid because it was like adult contemporary.
Sure.
It was like dad music.
Sure. I mean, I like that you allow your musical taste to evolve. I respect that.
Oh, and just to know like this song has been around. I've heard this song a million times and I just dismissed it.
But now you can. Sometimes you need to be a different place in life to appreciate things.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was just like, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, there's music that I like. I mean, especially when you're a kid and you're just deciding you don't like stuff. Like when Green Day got popular, I was like, Green Day sucks.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that album Dookie sucks.
Yeah.
Because everybody liked it, and I was like, it sucks. And then I'm listening to Dookie now. This is literally one of the best albums of all time. It's a masterpiece.
Yes, I agree.
That's how Troy feels about Christopher Cross.
Oh, do you mind if we rock a Christopher Cross for a second?
No, because maybe you can sell. Because this ain't selling me.
Okay, no, it's fair enough.
This ain't selling me
Ride
at
Like
all.
the Wind.
And I know Ride Like the Wind because there's a little part of it in that movie Sing with the singing animals. That's the one that goes, so I like the wind, ride like the wind.
Yes.
Yeah. I think a frog sings it or something. But it's just part of a medley, so I don't know the whole, like... I like that one tiny little part that the animal sings, but I don't know the whole.
This song is a masterpiece.
Okay.
Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross.
Then, yeah.
I disagreed with the first one being a masterpiece.
Is this it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know if I know this.
And I may get to a different space in life, but as of now, I'm out.
You should watch the Yacht Rock documentary.
I don't want to because I don't like yacht rock. And I think the whole thing is stupid.
No,
you
it's
can
not.
watch a documentary on things you don't like.
I don't want to.
Can you give it just a tad more volume?
I'm already like out. Because everything in yacht rock is so plunk, plunk, plunk.
But that was just
like it's just plunk, 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 plunk. And
I'm on the run.
And you know, like, you know why it's yacht rock?
Very Miami Vice.
It's very Miami Vice, but it's also very like the guys who work here that work all the way down the hall.
Such a long way to go.
That make all the money, that don't have any real hobbies. They go to the Hamptons and they listen to songs like this.
Yeah, but that's
boat
where they're
shoes
at
on.
in life. That's where they're at in life.
And they'd probably be like, what's Troy doing here with all his tattoos and his beard? And you're like, guys, I brought some tunes.
Yeah, I brought Yacht Rock, guys.
And then they'd be like, oh, cool. Like, you're down?
So you just put the Yacht Rock channel on Sirius XM?
You love the Yacht Rock channel.
Love it. Love it.
I don't turn it on at all.
No.
I mean, I'm
couldn't
happy
even tell
that
you where it is.
No, yeah, I'm happy that it's there for the people who appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think it was a genius move. They obviously created a wave, but
I was shouted out in the documentary.
They shout out Sirius XM for kind of putting the official stamp that this is a real thing.
Well, then why doesn't Sirius do it with my genre?
What's your genre?
Butt rock.
I don't know why there isn't Butt Rock 103.
You got to talk to the guys down the hall.
McClure?
No, you got to talk to Steve Blatter.
Oh.
You got to talk to Rob Cross. I bet you those guys are the ones that came up with this.
If I said I want to do, can I be the voice of Butt Rock?
Well, you should probably give them some props on what they did with Yacht Rock.
Yacht Rock is
Grease
great.
the wheels a little bit.
You're right. I was watching that Yacht Rock documentary. I love Yacht Rock, first of all.
Great job with coming up with that, or,
Yeah. I'm so
doing a
glad.
channel for it.
I'd say I'm so glad Malcolm McDonald is on the radio. I think it's all great stuff.
Kenny Loggins? Kenny Loggins is the fucking man.
It's so plunky. Everything is so plunky.
That's the genre. That's the vibe. It's just, it feels good. It's bouncy.
It feels...
It's bouncy and light.
It's very light.
Yes.
It feels like brain mush.
It's just not offensive music.
You know what it is? It's the Ted Lasso of music.
I would disagree with that.
Such a long way to go. That's Michael McDonald.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
You don't think why is it not the Ted Lasso of music?
No, that is not offensive.
Oh. No, I think it is. I think it's the
I'm
Ted...
offended by that.
I think it's the Ted Lasso of music in the sense that there's like a whole genre of shows on streaming that like they fill up the hours and they make you feel good, but you don't actually take anything away from them at all.
You talking about shrinking?
Shrinking. Beautiful white people with relatable problems is the genre. There's a whole genre of television called Beautiful White People with Relatable Problems.
Thank God Jefferson Darcy's in that.
He's great in it. And look, all these shows, I'm fine if you like them. They're all well acted. A lot of the performers in them, I like Harrison Ford. I like Jason Segel.
Yeah.
But the whole Beautiful White People with Relatable Problems genre is not for me. And it feels very yacht rock to me. It feels like if you like yacht rock, you would also like Beautiful White People with Relatable Problems. I feel like, without even watching it, that Kate Hudson basketball show feels like a Beautiful White People with Relatable Problems show.
There's a lot of those.
A lot of them. It's exploding right now across streaming. It's exploding.
The ladies love them.
They love them. My wife sits there watching them all on her iPad while she's falling asleep while I'm watching wrestling on the TV. All of them. But I can't get down with that genre of television, just like I can't get down with yacht rock. It all feels the same to me. It feels like
anybody will say that about any genre.
What?
That it all sounds the same to me.
Yeah, but I feel like this specifically, I feel like it's more brain rot than brain rot is. Like when I listen to yacht rock.
Sure, that's so offensive.
Yeah, I don't know why I have to shit on yacht rock.
This is how I feel.
Okay.
When I listen to yacht rock or when I watch Beautiful White People with Relatable Problems television, it makes me feel like somebody is trying to distract me.
From
I don't know.
Real problems?
Yeah, from the world. Like
or
somebody is like,
it is a distraction so that you can forget about those problems.
but it's like, why are you trying to make me forget about the real world problems so much? They're like, no, just look over here. We can melt your brain while you're smiling.
Well, sometimes I wish the real world would just stop hassling me.
I get that. I get it.
So
I've heard other people have the same opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hassled by the real world.
No.
You know,
Straight up.
What's wrong? Straight up?
Yeah, I don't know why you're shitting on Yacht Rock.
I just told you how I felt about it. I mean, I feel like I went in specific detail to exactly how I feel about it, and so for you to say I don't understand is not it's not a valid conversation.
So non-offensive, light music.
But that's why
it still rocks.
I mean,
right like the wind.
I wasn't feeling the vibe. I wasn't rocking out.
When I'm getting my steps in, and it goes in the da 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 da, I pick up the pace.
Right.
I'm
but
like, we're going.
You see what I mean? Troy is like got real problems.
That does not rock.
But Troy's got real things that he should be dealing with. And what do they do? They just ooze.
Forget about it.
They ooze the yacht rock into his ears so that he doesn't deal with it. Yacht rock, it's all yacht rock and beautiful white people with relatable problems television. It's the pink goo of television.
From Ghostbusters 2?
No.
Oh.
Like what they make McNuggets out of.
Oh. That's yoga mats.
No. You're thinking of the bread.
Subway.
You're thinking of the bread.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's like the pink goo where it's like, no, this is meat and you'll like it, so who cares anyway? And you're like, yeah, I'm not offended by this.
Yeah, Troy, I don't mind that you like this, but don't say it rocks.
It absolutely rocks.
You think so?
Don't say the F word.
I was cleaning my apartment yesterday. I had it on.
What Kenny Loggins song did you have on?
Oh, This Is It. I mean, that's a great one. I mean, it's endless how good.
I don't even think I know This Is It. That's not on the Caddyshack soundtrack.
I mean, I got
This Is It
songs for days.
This Is It.
It takes a minute to kick in, but it does.
Can you hear that? Plunk, 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 plunk. Everything is plunky. Plunk, plunk, plunk,
That was
plunk.
the sound. And if you watch the Yacht Rock documentary, they explain where they came up with that sound. That's a specific sound.
This fucking rocks. Clean your apartment, Troy. I'm motivating you.
Poor Toots.
I know. And he's like,
loves Yacht Rock.
and
What are you
Toots is
talking
sitting there like, I don't have any eggs, and now I have to listen to this. I'm gonna take a shit right here.
Yeah,
Maybe
you know
that's
what?
what it is.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Kenny Loggins again? Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
right.
shit right here.
Okay, is the hook coming?
It's coming.
Okay.
There we go.
Is this it?
There, listen.
This rocks.
No, this makes me want to like. Oh, there it is. Everything is so. I prefer Michael Jackson's This Is It.
Yeah. Way more.
Oh, I think Michael McDonald wrote Human Nature.
Well, I'm glad Michael Jackson is the one that sang it.
But
Or-
they consider that kind of in that yacht rock genre.
Or Janet. Who's saying Human Nature? Janet.
Michael!
Yeah.
It's on
That,
Thriller.
I mean, yeah, that's
Come
crazy.
on.
Yeah. Sam.
Yeah, how do you not know? It's on Thriller.
All right.
Stay out.
Sorry, the yacht rock's all confusing me. Oh, I think I was thinking of Madonna's Human Nature song.
Oh.
It's human nature.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Wait, did I have the song? Wait.
Oh, I hope you had it wrong.
Oh,
You
me
piece of dog shit. I hope you had it wrong. Look it up.
I mean, there is a human nature on Thriller. But
Okay.
Is that
We
what
were,
you're
we were
thinking
both thinking of different Human Nature songs. That's all.
Well, you
Madonna
fucked me up
was-
because I forgot about Madonna.
That was a huge song.
Mm-hmm.
That's the song that was in my head. Because you know why? Because it wasn't plunky enough for you.
of? That was on bedtime stories.
This sucks, dude. This, you know what it does? It blows donkeys for quarters.
I don't know about that.
This blows donkeys for quarters. Troy likes music that Beavis and Butthead thought sucked. This sucks. Matt in Westfield.
I was wondering if you guys have entered your Steely Dan phase, like the ultimate millennial dad kind of yacht rock, but kind of like jazzy music nerd. Nothing better than Sunday morning mowing the lawn to some Steely Dan.
I can't do it. That scares me, honestly, Matt. That, like, the idea that because I worry that it's not like I can't sit there and tell you it'll never happen to me because I've seen it happen to the best of us, you know? But the idea that I might fall into a Steely Dan trap is scary to me. I don't want to.
Let it happen, Sam. Punch it out, boys. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
You think Troy's more like Stewart now from Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, he's totally got his Unicorns t-shirt on.
You got a Winger shirt on over there, bro?
He sucks, dude.
Stuart Stevenson?
You're Stewart from Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
Do you like Steely Dan?
I do.
Matt called it.
Yep. What song?
What Steely Dan's good?
Steely Dan sucks. Steve, while you're looking for it, Steve in Florida.
Thank God it's over.
Yay, greetings and salutations, dipshits.
What's up?
When I was a kid, there were a bunch of guys in my neighborhood. The Doobie Brothers had come to town, and they brought a recording device in. They got put up to it by this mean guy, Al Dunbar.
Right.
But they wound up getting in trouble, but then they turned the tide and, kind of got them in trouble. So it was really awesome. We're very proud of them.
That's sick, dude. I'm glad that happened to them. Did they ever ask which doobie they be?
I wasn't there, but my friend, one of the older guys told me that, and I just laughed and laughed. It was really fun.
Thank you, Steve.
Reeling in the Years.
Reeling in the Years by
Steely Dan.
By Steely Dan.
But Steely Dan got shitty because
they suck, dude.
Because they wanted them as part of the Yacht Rock documentary, and they're one of those. They're like, we hate that you're calling it that. We want nothing to do with this.
Oh, come on.
I know. It's
come
like, dude,
on.
shut up.
Get over yourself. What are you? What are they then? A jam band? If they're not yacht rock, they're yacht rock. Of
course.
Oh, you know what? That song's not even in the yacht rock category.
Good. I bet the category was like, go fuck yourself, then.
Yeah, I bet you that's what it is. Because on a lot of the playlists, they're like, all right, fuck you guys.
Yeah, we're blowing up. Okay, this is Reeling in the Years. Let's watch them plunk it down. Oh yeah, I know this song.
So I'm coming here as a defender. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing this right here as a defender.
Yeah, I know this.
I know it too. It sucks.
It's not yacht rock.
I mean,
this is more like classic rock.
It's still in the genre.
I don't hate this.
I'm not listening to Steely Dan. It's plunky enough to be yacht rock.
But I don't hate it. It's better than yacht rock.
I'm not listening to any of it. They really, and they thought
happy.
They really thought they were Billy Joel. They're not. You're all right.
No more?
No. Let's go to Christopher Cross. Let's go to Todd in PA. What's up, Todd? I read the wrong box. What's up?
Way to blow me there, Sammy.
Well, they're hitting me with all this music that sucks and trying to tell me that it's good. I feel like I'm being gaslit.
Don't say they.
Troy, mainly.
All right. Yeah. So this is going to redeem Christopher Cross for you. If you can look up any video of him shredding on the electric guitar, that boy can play.
So Christopher Cross shreds?
Yes. He toured, actually, I know it doesn't make it sound any better, but he and Bruce Hornsby did a tour together a couple of years ago, and those boys can play. So look it up. He will redeem himself in your eyes, and you will love him forever.
All right. I mean, if Christopher Cross can shred, I didn't know that.
Christopher Cross is the man.
He is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He really can.
Thank you.
Take call 3, please. Line 3.
I've never seen Troy produce like this.
He's finally got himself a segment.
Because I want you to hear this.
Rich in Connecticut?
I know you're shitting on yacht rock, and I know you're shitting on Michael McDonald, but if Michael McDonald's good enough for Warren G and Nate Dogg with song Regulate, I think you got to put on Regulate for the people because
Travis.
Yeah. You got to put it on.
I keep forgetting?
That's right.
It's not Regulate?
Michael McDonald.
Oh, that's with the Michael McDonald. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the same because we know.
Okay.
You know Warren G.
I mean, you don't need to play Warren G for me. Is that boop 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 boop?
Wait to hear it. This is a fucking banger, bro.
I keep forgetting.
Well, listen. I mean, I like Juicy by Biggie Smalls, but then I forgot who produced it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna bring it up.
It's a sample, though.
I mean,
this isn't a sample. This is the real thing.
No. He likes it because he knows it as a sample.
Mr. Warren G.
Oh. Ain't talking Warren G to regulate.
little volume, please.
I mean,
this is fucking fire.
But if you hear the beginning of this song, you're hoping Warren G comes
100%. Like, I do appreciate that it's more than a sample. I mean, it's the entire instrumental. Yeah. He doesn't use this part. I don't know what Michael McDonald is doing here.
Rocking is what he's doing.
Shredding.
Like, when I hear The Way It Is by Bruce Hornsby come on, and I'm expected Tupac changes.
Yeah, I want to hear about how jealous these cops get about the mobile phones.
Yeah. And it's the same thing here. I'm like, oh, this is regulated.
Yeah, I'm getting annoyed now.
Yeah.
Because I like the very beginning. Yeah, I'm not sold on this part. Venice in Harrisburg?
It's actually Denise.
Okay. I didn't know if you were named after like some kind of Italian work of art or something.
Or maybe some blinds.
Yeah, maybe like a Venetian. Like it says Venice.
Well,
Denise.
A normal name.
I'm sorry. I'm literally trying to talk to you guys. I'm trying to listen to the music.
You heard.
I'm trying to answer phone calls.
Yeah, but wouldn't you?
And I'm trying to take. I'm sorry.
If you thought you heard Venice, wouldn't you assume it was probably Denise?
No. You have to understand. I can barely hear on this phone. And when you guys are,
but Venice isn't a name.
And I hear Christopher Cross rocking, and I'm missing it.
Yeah, but if I was like taking calls, and distracted, and I thought somebody said I'm Droy from Harrisburg, I'd be like this. It's probably not Droy. It's probably Troy, because nobody's named Droy.
The phone bank is lit, and I'm trying to take calls. And this is what I hear. I go, Sam Roberts Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
But
what?
But if you hear Venice, there's no part of you that thinks it's probably Denise.
Who the hell knows? Maybe it's Vanessa, and it's short for it.
Venice is short for Vanessa?
Maybe.
Wouldn't it be Vanessa?
I don't know.
And also, like, why would you keep all those syllables and just drop the
Venice.
Like, my full name is Samuel, but I would never go like, hey, call me Samuel.
But it's like if you call it like Sam Roberts Show. What's your name? Hey, this is Sam. Oh. What?
Right.
It's what? Sam. Yo.
Oh, I guess Venice is what you
said.
said.
Venice and argue with the call. Wait. Spell your name. I'm trying to listen to the music and talk to you guys.
But you didn't hear Venice and go, maybe I should clarify. It's almost definitely Denise.
Okay. Lesson learned.
And also,
Sam.
you spell it with an I. Venice.
Venice. How would you spell Venice?
It's not a name. I wouldn't spell it.
Well, if you had to spell
If I had to spell Venice, it would be Denice.
It's actually an S, but
ICE.
Yeah, you see, you even got it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm flabbergasted because somebody wrote Venice on my phone screen.
Denise, I hope you're happy. I hope this
Venice.
I am. You're making me laugh.
She's chuckling in the background.
Good old Venice.
Venice, what's going on?
Oh, that shit's over.
But I think you have a case for butt rock radio at Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I hate that term because most of the bands I like you call butt rock.
They are butt rock.
But
That's fine to
Sirius,
like butt rock. We should embrace that's what I mean. We should Sirius's next move, the same way they got people to embrace this stupid idiot genre yacht rock, is to embrace butt rock as its own thing and have people be like, you know what? I love this butt rock.
Well, let me tell you, Sirius is actively advertising Mom Jeans Radio.
Oh.
Which I don't know a man who would actively seek out Mom Jeans Radio because it would show up on your display. Like, who would want Mom Jeans?
Let's see what's playing.
That's not a flattering term.
I don't know.
But butt rock sounds much better than Mom Jeans.
Butt rock is better than Mom Jeans. Thank you, Venice.
I bet you they're trying to cash in again.
There we
like,
go.
We did it once. We're going to do it again.
What's playing on Mom Jeans right now?
Unless it's just Tom Segura's channel.
Mom Jeans is vintage soft rock and pop.
For the
right now,
for
it's
the FUPA.
Patti Smith and Don Henley. Sometimes love just ain't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I like though that Sirius just puts what it is and allows us to embrace what it is. You know, that Sirius will go, no, if you like Mom Jeans stuff, if you like butt rock, if you like yacht rock, we've got a channel for you. And you don't need to be ashamed, right? We need to get out of this mentality. I don't like, and we've talked about it before, you know this about me. If you tell me, Sam, what's your guilty pleasure? It doesn't exist. I don't have. There's no guilty pleasure.
I like everything I like.
I'm going to tell you what I like, and I don't feel guilty about it one way or the other. And if people come to me and go like, "Oh, you shouldn't like that," I go, as a matter of fact, what's weird is I don't like you.
John Cicada, Just Another Day.
Who would like that?
Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero. That's a good song.
That's great. I hope it's the more current version. Yeah.
Dan Hartman, I Can Dream About You. Oh, no.
No.
They just need to make a documentary about it, and then I'll be
Mom Jeans? Mom Jeans Rock?
I'll get into it.
Then I'll get it. Troy's easily swayed.
He is.
I like music.
And he likes stocks.
And I like music that I've been sleeping on for years.
Because it's like you get to it's good, so it's good enough that it's been established, and there's also a huge catalog of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to discover it, and it's all new to you. You get to appreciate it for the first time. So you get to have all this new music, but it's all like there's a ton of it, and it's all great for what it is.
And this has happened to me before in my life. I mean, there's other bands that I've like all of a sudden discovered.
I know you got into Billy Joel last year.
Billy Joel,
you like that?
Taylor Swift.
I got real into the Beach Boys later in life. I didn't, I was.
That's a wonderful thing.
The Rolling Stones, they finally clicked with me maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, what a treat!
You just couldn't believe it.
Right. There's so much of it.
There's so much, and it's so good.
It's all so good.
Because I was always in that world of like either like the Beatles or the Stones.
Right. But all of a sudden, I want to slow it down. Hit me with some Wild Horses. All of a sudden, I want to get like edgy. Let's Paint It Black.
Yeah. Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Forget
Street
about
Fighting
it.
Man.
Oh my God.
They're incredible.
Sleepy little town, you know what I mean? No place for a Street Fighting Man. Jeff in New Jersey?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just to show you how underrated Christopher Cross is, Richie Blackmore came down with a case of food poisoning back in the day for Deep Purple, and Christopher Cross, yes, played for Deep Purple for one concert.
Look at that. First of all, I had no idea. And second of all, I also had no idea that there was such a Christopher Cross contingent listening to the show. I love that.
Yeah. And long-time listener, first-time caller. Love you, Sam. Keep that trend going.
Thank you, buddy. And
there were so many words in that sentence I didn't give a shit about.
I gave a shit about all of them. And I also love that he loves Christopher Cross so much. He's like, today's the day I'm finally going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to call in.
I've never done
Christopher
it before.
Cross. Yeah. Eric in Colorado.
Morning, Samuel.
Good morning.
So, on the weekends, I drive for Uber.
Nice.
And one of my, I guess you could say, guilty
Got my own radio
is
show.
yacht rock.
Okay, Ron.
You have multiple radio shows, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of my guilty pleasures, I guess you could say, is yacht rock radio. And
bro,
one of the presets on...
I'll tell you right now. Don't let that be a guilty pleasure. Let that be just a pleasure. Just enjoy that as a pleasure.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? You're right. I really is. But anyhow, the last couple of weekends, I have had a lot of 20-somethings, especially young women, that I have picked up as passengers.
Nice.
Will see one of my one preset says yacht rock, and they're like, "Oh wow, we love that. Can you put yacht rock on?" Because usually I have classic rewind on.
Wow.
And it's weird. This has been lately. But, Eddie Trunk brought up something here a week or so back that there is a quote-unquote new genre being tested called yacht metal.
And who is yacht metal?
So one of the first songs is Blues Image Ride Captain Ride with a metal hook to it.
Oh.
They were playing it, I don't know, like a week or so, or 2 weeks ago. They played it as one of their bumper songs.
Listen,
and it's actually pretty good.
I don't know about. Thank you, Eric. I do think it's fascinating that you'll find these 20-year-old girls wanting to listen to yacht rock, but it's not that surprising because it's the same crowd that is like. And then I'm going to go home and watch this amazing show about these beautiful white people that have relatable problems. It's that same feeling that you get. It's let me turn my brain to sludge for a little bit, and I'll feel good about it. I don't know about yacht metal. I don't know if that's going to catch on as quickly as butt rock will. But
What more Christopher Cross?
No.
Sailing?
Is that the Eric Cartman song? I'm Sailing Away?
Hang on, let me go back to the yacht rock folder.
This one slaps.
I thought it was.
It's mellow, but
it slaps. Mellows can slap. Mellow's fine.
I mean, I'm sure you're gonna shit all over it.
What's it called?
Why?
Sailing.
Why do you think I'm gonna shit on it?
Because you've been shitting on Christopher Cross this whole time.
Well,
Like
all the
McDonald.
songs you played sucked.
What?
The look on Troy's face is it just fucking blows. I don't want my listeners to have to deal with that. This blows donkeys.
For a quarter?
For quarters. Joe in D.C.
What's up, Sammy?
Hey, man.
Hey, look, when you start to reach a certain age, like Troy and I are, and Travis is already blown way past it.
That's right. That's right, Joe. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Joe, you
I
son
was
of
a
a bitch.
metalhead. I was a metalhead as a kid. Now, I am listening to Duran Duran, shit like that.
I mean, look, I get
When
it.
you reach a certain age,
Yeah.
you're going to come back to the music that was popular when you were a kid. It's just going to happen.
I also feel like there's some of you guys that like you lived fast. You had expectations. Some of them came true. Some of them did not. And at a point, you just kind of go, you know what? I'm tired of all the aggression. I'm tired of constantly. You retire a little bit. You retire like mentally, and you go, I'm just done. I don't want to feel all these things. I just want to have a nice time. And then you put on your Steely Dan and you put on your yacht rock.
But you can have a balance.
And that's what you do. I think. Well, if you didn't have a balance before, you have to shift. Yeah, you have to shift in the other direction. That's what I think, Joe.
This doesn't have to be an existential discussion, Sam.
It is, though,
What's your
Joe.
life?
Joe, first of all, who are you talking to? It's always an existential conversation. It's the bane of Troy's existence. Troy can be like, here's my cat in a crown. And I go, let's talk about what's really going on inside. And it's like, that's the last thing I want to talk
Why
about.
can't you just enjoy the cat in a crown?
Right. And by the way,
Let's get to why he's in a crown.
by the way, the same person that just sits and enjoys a cat in a crown and just enjoys the cat in the crown is the same person that is like, turn off all this screaming music. I just want to hear my yacht rock. We're not going to deal with what's going on inside. We're not going to deal with how much the past affected us. We're just going to feel better in the moment. And that's a strategy. I'm not saying it's a wrong thing, but I'm saying it is what's going on.
All right, well, maybe you got Troy. I put hats on my cats too.
Exactly.
You sound like a good dude, Joe.
And by the way, thank you, Joe. And I think you're a good dude. And Troy, I think you're a good dude. But that is what's going on.
But you're wrong.
Okay.
Because
I'm rarely, but okay.
One of my favorite hardcore bands of all time, Dead Guy. They have a new record coming out. They got 2 new songs out that are fire.
Right.
Kill Fee.
Right.
Which is a great new one. I've been bumping that nonstop. So I'm balancing out the yacht rock with the hardcore.
Well, it's great. And that's great.
And I'm Dead Guy. I mean, they're back.
They're great. I'm psyched about it.
You got that one, Trav Dog?
We don't need to play Dead Guy. It has nothing to do with what we're talking
Kill
about.
Fee.
No, don't even look it up.
What? You don't want to play Dead Guy?
We're not talking about that. We're not doing a hardcore
But you're saying that like, oh, I'm old and I've petered out.
No, this isn't like
You haven't petered out. You're going to sit here with a straight face and tell me you have not petered out.
Bro, I'm still rocking.
Where? What are you talking about?
when I'm getting my steps in.
No, you just said when you're getting your steps in.
When I'm getting. By the way, just stop right there. You're not rocking out. You're getting your steps in. You can't do both.
Oh, yes, you can.
When you get to the age that you're getting your steps in, you're done rocking out, and that's fine. You did enough rocking out.
You can't get your steps in and rock out at the same time.
Not with your cock out.
My cock isn't out.
You rock.
Exactly.
You did so much.
That's my whole point. You did enough rocking out, and it's fine. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
But I still enjoy heavy music.
Okay. Well, you live in a cul-de-sac in Orlando.
What's wrong with that?
It's called submission, and that's fine.
The 3-legged bear.
Yeah.
And you bring your cat on a leash.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, what? I don't see a problem here with any of this.
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm saying we have to like live in reality, though, and understand that there's a lot in the past that we're trying to be like, we're done with, like, I can't do it anymore. Let me just lean this way. That's all. And that's okay.
I don't know why this turned into a shit on Troy segment.
Why is this shitting on?
You're the one that had to bring up yacht rock.
But see, he feels like he's being shat upon.
Yeah, well, nobody's shitting on you.
I'm not shitting on you. If anything, I'm being empathetic to you.
Yeah.
I understand. You're going through it. You're finding yourself again.
Oh, that's good.
No, I'm turning the chapter.
That's good.
It
is
By
good.
the way, you're writing a whole new book.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in the last one?
What happened?
It's in the goddamn fire. Forget about that one. That book didn't happen. The Book of Troy started 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's good. That's good.
So much yacht rock.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like Yacht Rock.
That's fine. You're allowed to. I mean, I don't
That's
like.
a fine.
That's a fine. That's a fine of Venice.
I mean, you like plenty of shitty music.
Whoa.
Okay, now you're getting offended. See, now you're taking things personally. You're taking things personally because you know why? Because it's not just me insulting your genre of music. It's me insulting, like, your therapeutic device.
I just don't know why you'd shit on Michael McDonald.
He sucks, that's why. He blows goats.
He's an incredible songwriter.
He's lame. He's a lame wad.
Lame wad?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Bro, he's a dillweed.
No.
Yeah. He's a butt nugget.
I mean, now you're just
taking.
Now you're just trying to be silly.
What's another Michael McDonald song?
What? He's got endless. I mean,
didn't he do Ain't No Mountain? Didn't he do a version of Ain't No Mountain High Enough?
Oh. No.
Okay. I guess he didn't.
Let's see. What's good Michael McDonald?
Right, never mind.
Okay.
You lost your chance.
I'm sure he did a version of Ain't No Mountain.
It's a masterpiece.
What?
The one we just listened to is a great one.
What? I keep forgetting?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's Warren G.
I like the Warren G version.
Yeah.
All right. I got to piss. We got to go to break.
Listen to him just... He's like, all right, my segment's over.
Tony Burton said NSYNC did a cover of Sailing.
Okay, that's probably fire.
Can we look up the NSYNC cover of Sailing?
Mike, see if that's on YouTube.
Yes. Yes. I think Tony Burton probably loves Yacht Rock.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not.
He loves DMB. He loves jam bands and
Yeah,
stuff.
and so, I mean, that's not, like, necessarily the same thing.
Yeah.
Tony seems like a cool dude. I'm sure he likes Yacht Rock.
He is a cool dude.
I mean, he's a cool dude, but I don't know if that...
He had this on his fingertips. He knew NSYNC covered the song Sailing.
Maybe he's just a boy band fan.
That would be sick.
Yeah. Maybe he's a Ron Perlman fan.
Lou. Ron Perlman was Hellboy.
Right. He's a Lou Perlman.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a Ron Perlman guy. Sons of Anarchy, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Different Perlman, buddy.
No disrespect.
Yeah. Okay, this is NSYNC Sailing. Let's see if I like it better.
Beach Boy harmonies?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, nobody's going to shit on NSYNC.
No.
You came to the wrong channel if you think that's happening.
Lou Pearlman was just off stage with a cattle prod, making them go up and sing. I don't even know what this song is. Sing it!
Horrible.
Oh, I don't want to get zapped. Counting all their money.
Yep. Better kick in soon.
Well, it's not far down to paradise.
Oh, yeah. This is what happens. Tony Burton gets off the phone with Sirius, and he's like, what the fuck? I gotta chill out. Where are the boy band covers of Yacht Rock songs?
This is cool.
You like this?
I mean, I like Christopher Cross better, but...
I'm not shocked this was an album cut.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't need this at all. I don't like either artist's version of it. Either.
Not even Christopher Cross?
He was one of the two. Jonathan in Connecticut.
Hey, I was just wondering, based on your retiring logic, when do you think Hot Dog's going to get there?
I mean, Hot Dog is Peter Pan. Hot Dog's forever young. You know?
You think at 50 he's going to be the same exact, seeing demons at night in Greece, or do you think there's going to be a point where he's just hanging out? You know what? I'm good.
Hot Dog
I'm
knows
good
less
here.
about current music than anybody.
Yeah, Hot Dog's got wind flowing through his ears. He doesn't have to. There's no existential crisis going on with Hot Dog. That's not going to happen. There's not enough depth there. There's nothing going on. You know what I mean? There's no like. This is why anybody that has the ability to fall asleep within 30 seconds wherever they are at any time of the day is just not a complicated guy. You know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No turning point with him.
No.
Yeah, I guess there's no turning point with him. It's just 80 years old. He's just going to be the same guy.
Straight line. Thank you, Jonathan. Lori in New Jersey.
Good morning, fellas. I have to say I'm with Troy on this. But that NSYNC Yacht Rock was absolute trash.
Wow.
And there's nobody that can duplicate Christopher Cross when it comes to that song.
Right,
Thank God.
Wow. You're right, Lori.
Not to mention,
Thank
I
God.
play yacht rock for my 8th graders while they're working, and they enjoy it.
No, they don't.
What, because they're just sitting there plunking? Well, I'm glad. I would complain to the school board that you're indoctrinating them.
Lori sounds like she knows what's going on.
Indoctrinating kids today, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, Lori.
I like Lori.
Thanks, bye.
Look, she seems like a great person. I'm not mad at people for liking yacht rock. It's just not my thing. Honestly, I didn't even know we were going to go in this direction. I brought up American Idol and Good Charlotte because I was going to spin it into Wings of Voice. That was the direction.
Too late for that.
That was the direction that I had in my head. We didn't go there, but
That is one of my favorite shows, though.
Wings of Voice, because
They celebrate all genres.
Because the Good Charlotte thing made me. That's why I specifically used the word medley, because it was going to come back around and say, speaking of medley.
That's royalty free, though.
Glenn on Rhode Island.
Hey, Sam. I just wanted to know, man, like, I can't believe you're ripping into this kind of genre of music. It's actually not bad at all. You got to find yourself to like some of the music.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to happen.
You're open to it.
I'm open, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be ripping on Troy there for liking fucking Christopher Cross. I mean, the guy's a legend.
I mean, I'm not ripping on anybody. I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Look, we'll talk about the Wings of Voice show and everything Nathan Fielder has going on and so much more after this. Stay right there.
We'll be right back with Sam Roberts Show.
Yeah. The #1 pro wrestling show on the planet, Busted Open, is now on Faction Talk, Channel 103. This is Dave LaGreca. Hear me alongside my rotating cast of Hall of Famers and pro wrestling legends every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Faction Talk. A daily breakdown of everything going on in the world of pro wrestling and a ton of laughs along the way. It's Busted Open, now, weeknights at 9 p.m. Eastern on Faction Talk, Channel 103, and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Sunday is the fastest day of the year, and SiriusXM puts you in the driver's seat.
Man, I've wanted this race for so long.
The green flag drops on Formula One's Grand Prix of Monaco at 9 a.m. Eastern on Channel 81.
Charles Leclerc wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Then at noon Eastern on Channel 85, we head to the Brickyard for the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500.
Joseph Newgarden goes back-to-back.
At 5, NASCAR and the Coca-Cola 600 on Channel 90.
Coming to the green flag. The crowd is on its feet.
Hear it all on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, there was a time where there was a stigma around therapy, and I'm so happy that stigma has been broken. We all kind of know. Maintaining your mental health is just as important as maintaining physical health. That's what BetterHelp is great for. But there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say they've avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. We're not judging anybody here. This Mental Health Awareness Month, let's encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/Teft to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TEFFT.
Do you suffer from plantar fasciitis, back, knee, or hip pain? I'm Stu Sakowitz, owner and inventor of Pine Valley Orthotics. We hand make them in New Jersey, and thousands of golfers from all over the country have called to tell me how amazing they feel. $99, and if I can't make your pain go away, I will happily refund your money. Call me at 866-443-7463. I even answer my own phone. Or go to PineValleyOrthotics.com. Your feet will thank you as much as I do.
Patients are finally advocating for themselves and finding treatments that can improve outcomes for their chronic illnesses. These are advanced stem cell treatments at Bespoke Biologics.
My name is Corey Jones. I found out about Bespoke because a client of mine was actually talking about the therapy and the treatments. I came in because I have an autoimmune disorder that leads to other issues like arthritis, inflammation. My main goal for seeking this type of medicine was to at least alleviate some of the symptoms I've had with autoimmune without having to go the traditional drug route.
Bespoke's treatments reach beyond the limitations of traditional medicine to treat the root cause of diseases.
The level of service here was amazing. Everything was really pleasant. Coming into this hospital, I wouldn't even really know that we were in a different country. Very professional. I would highly recommend Bespoke based on the experience I've had.
Curious about how these treatments could hold the key to improving your life? Learn more at BespokeStemCell.com. That's BespokeStemCell.com. Schedule your introductory call today. BespokeStemCell.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA.
Hey, have you ever used Cheapo Air?
Yeah, for years, and I really like it. With Cheapo Air, you can book online, use their app, or even over the phone. They've got great prices on over 500 airlines and millions of accommodations. They are my go-to for travel planning. Oh, and if you join their Club Miles program, you can earn points to save on the cost of your travel. Book on the app, and you get double points.
Sounds like it's time I tried Cheapo Air.
Call Cheapo Air at 855-292-7493 or visit cheapoair.com/serious.
Be kind. Rewind to the best of the 90s. Get jiggy with 90s hip-hop and R&B on Sirius XM Fly. Feel the angst of 90s grunge on Lithium. Or relive pop hits that are all that and a bag of chips on 90s on 9.
Check out these and many other 90s channels at home with Sirius XM on your phone, computer, Alexa, or other internet-connected devices. Just search 90s.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, there was a time where there was a stigma around therapy, and I'm so happy that that stigma has been broken. We all kind of know. Maintaining your mental health is just as important as maintaining physical health. That's what BetterHelp is great for. But there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say they've avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. We're not judging anybody here. This Mental Health Awareness Month, let's encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/Teft to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TEFFT.
There's nothing like that first cup of coffee in the morning until the jitters kick in. Your stomach feels bloated and you start to crash. Kind of takes the joy out of coffee, right? Maybe it's time to try Everyday Dose. It's coffee, plus benefits. Everyday Dose combines 100% Arabica coffee with lion's mane, chaga, L-theanine, and collagen protein. The result? A great tasting coffee that improves your focus, memory, and gut health while revitalizing your skin, hair, nails, and joints. Leave the side effects of your typical coffee behind and upgrade to Everyday Dose. No crash, no jitters, no gut issues. For a limited time, you can get 45% off the 30-serving bag of Coffee Plus with code RADIO. That's less than 85 cents a cup. And with the subscription, you get over $100 in free gifts. Plus, it ships free. Upgrade your coffee today and go to everydaydose.com. That's everydaydose.com and use code RADIO to get 45% off your first bag with free shipping. That's everydaydose.com and use code RADIO.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Think back to when you were a kid, riding the school bus, the roar of the engine, the thick diesel fumes. Now, imagine something better, cleaner, quieter. Highland Electric Fleets is leading the way in electric school buses because our kids deserve a healthier ride. Diesel exhaust isn't just unpleasant, it can lead to asthma and other respiratory issues. Just 5 electric buses can reduce pediatric asthma risk for 1,500 students. And the benefits don't stop there. Electric school buses are quieter, reducing stress and improving focus, especially for kids with autism or sensory sensitivities. A calm, quiet ride sets the tone for a better school day. The best part? Switching to electric school buses is easier and more affordable than you think. Highland Electric Fleets handles everything from planning and funding to installation and operation, so schools and communities can make the transition seamlessly. A cleaner, healthier future starts now. Visit highlandfleets.com today to learn more. That's highlandfleets.com.
We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
I'm gonna make it bend and break. Say a prayer, but let the good times roll. In case God doesn't show. And I want these words to make things right, but it's the wrongs that make the words come to life. Who does he think he is? If that's the worst you got, better put your fingers back to the key. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great.
Hey, welcome back. More like Spanx for the memories, huh? Sam Roberts Show. Rest in peace to George Wendt. Norm from Cheers. You know he won 3 Emmy Awards as Norm? I think
He did?
I think 3.
No, I think he was nominated.
I think he won Emmys.
Did he win?
I think he won.
Okay, the article I read yesterday mentioned how many Emmy nominations he had and Ted Danson had, and then mentioned how many times Ted Danson won.
Why are they talking about Ted Danson? Why bring up Ted Danson?
Because they were both the ones that were Emmy nominated. I don't think he won 3 times.
Oh, okay. Well.
For what?
Cheers.
No, I know.
He's well known for that show, Cheers.
What was his name? George
Wendt. Rest in peace. He's
Emmy
an icon.
Wins.
Iconic performer.
This cannot possibly be right.
Norm, who I guess he passed away at...
Google AI Overview says he won 6 times. This is why you can't trust Google AI Overview.
Yeah, you know why? It sounds like more... This guy over here is like, I can't be wrong. Yeah, sorry.
Nominee. Yeah, no, he never won.
Wow, that's not what AI says. Who are you going with, Travis or AI?
AI all day.
Me too.
George Wendt was an Emmy Award-nominated actor.
Says who?
The Television Academy of America.
Okay, Television Academy of America, like they don't have an agenda.
Awards and nominations. Nominated. Yeah, he was nominated 6 times.
He did maintain his iconic, like he's one of those guys that settled into being Norm and was just Norm.
He was Norm
the whole time.
I don't know a single other thing that he did.
No, well, he did, he'd pop up on SNL.
Oh, yeah, of
right?
course. Yeah.
He'd do that.
Right.
Because he came from, I want to say, the Groundlings or one of those improv groups. And isn't like Jason Sudeikis his nephew?
Yes.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't write him into Ted Lasso.
Couldn't put him into Ted Lasso.
One app. Oh, look who's here. Uncle
look,
Norm.
Yeah.
I'm
at a pub in the...
Yeah. It is like, I feel like people who were not around for that era don't fully grasp how huge sitcoms were. Like that's
Second City, by the way.
Second City. Yeah, I knew it was one of those improv groups. One of those like people don't, because even though the Big Bang Theory is the last sort of massive sitcom, but even the Big Bang Theory was not like, a lot of people watched it and it had many fans, but literally there was a time when you couldn't function on the planet if you didn't watch these sitcoms.
Well, yeah, but that was a different time.
I know, that's what I mean.
4 channels.
Right. But even when cable was out, like Cheers and Seinfeld and Friends, and all those sitcoms, they were like, stop everything.
They were almost like must-see TV.
Not only must-see TV, but then in reruns, NBC would run New to You.
That's right, New to You.
New to You. And then, and they'd always try to have, even Frasier was a pretty culturally significant show.
Oh, sure.
But yeah. I don't think that now.
No, it would be hard to grasp how popular Cheers was.
Even The Office is not culturally. It is.
No, and that happened after the fact.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like The Office is not. Is another, massive show. The Office will live forever. But saying you're, Oscar from The Office and saying you're Norm from Cheers is 2 completely different worlds.
In the Cheers finale, 40% of American televisions were tuned in.
And what year was that? Because that's not 4-channel territory. That's like cable.
That was 93.
Right. So everybody has cable by then, or most people do at least. Like there are
93 million viewers.
Right. Yeah. 93 million.
93 million.
At a time when you are talking about you didn't have internet, in
93 now.
Huge numbers or anything like that. It was just kind of starting. But you did have a choice of whatever it was, 50, 60 channels. And
the whole thing when Seinfeld ended was, are they going to break
the Cheers record?
And they didn't come close.
Right.
76 million, which is still insane.
It's insane. 76 million is nuts. But also it goes to show you how much things changed between 93 and, what was Seinfeld? Was it 96?
That was 98.
98? Mm-hmm. Wow, that was late. Yeah, those 5 years, that's a different world. 1993 and 1998, in terms of people consuming TV and everything, are two totally different worlds.
I mean, MASH was 106 million.
That is when you start talking about 4 channels, but still, you're 100% right that MASH is one of those shows that if you were around then, you couldn't function if you didn't watch MASH.
Oh, no, yeah. It's my dad's favorite show. I know MASH because of him.
There was no question, whatever night it was on. Yeah. Nobody was saying, what are you doing tonight?
No, watch
I got to watch MASH. Why would you call during MASH?
Yeah.
Why would you call during Cheers?
I will never see this episode again.
Yeah.
What's a rerun?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, what do you think when was the Friends finale? So I'm trying to figure out when was the last sort of sitcom that truly controlled the zeitgeist, not a sitcom that was big.
Friends finale was 2004.
That might be the last one.
52.5 million viewers.
Right.
I would call that the last.
That might be the last one.
Because, like you said, a lot of people watched Big Bang,
but not.
But it was not this cultural.
No, and if you didn't, you were fine.
Yeah.
And the same with The Office. People live and die by The Office. I love The Office. I think The Paper is going to be even better, but I love The Office. But it's not.
Big Bang Theory was 18 million, the finale.
Right, and Cheers was 93.
Yeah,
that says it all. Yeah, I think Friends was probably the last sort of.
Yep.
Massive. It's
sitcom
that really controls culture, and it's hard.
And even that was really kind of trailing off.
By the end, it was
yeah.
Yes, if they hadn't had those first several years,
yeah,
then they wouldn't have been in that conversation. Because by the end, 2004, you were just not consuming sitcoms like you used to.
No,
no.
But back when Cheers ended, 93,
it was everything, and that's why he was able to do that character forever. Although Dwight has managed to maintain the character forever.
Has he?
Well, he hasn't. He's tried not to.
I mean, yeah,
he's attempted not to, but I only ever see Dwight.
I think he hates that character.
I think he does too. I think he thinks that he's he probably had bigger dreams.
I know he had bigger dreams. I forget whether it was a book or a docu-series or something, but he's on the record as saying that for most of The Office's time, he did not enjoy himself because he thought he should be a bigger star.
Right.
And because he was Dwight from The Office.
And it's dude, there's no bigger star than Dwight from The Office.
And in hindsight, he regrets that. He's like, I should have had a better time in that moment. But all I was thinking about was, why am I not a movie star?
I wonder if he probably really resented that Steve Carell was able to pull it off. You know what I mean? That Steve Carell did Little Miss Sunshine. And people started looking at him differently. But also, Steve Carell never came off as overly hungry for stardom.
No, and he's known as one of the nicest people in Hollywood.
Correct. And he wasn't ever, none of the choices that he made as an actor seemed like he was trying to be a movie star.
No, because even when he left The Office, it's not like he went on to just do blockbusters or surefire,
No, he
hits.
did Little Miss Sunshine, and he did that movie with Ryan Reynolds. No, not Ryan Gosling, the other hot Ryan. Ryan Gosling.
Drive?
Yeah. No, yeah, he was in Drive, where he tried to steal that guy's car, and he killed him with a tire iron. It was a great scene. By the way, speaking of deaths in movies, what a time I had yesterday. Yesterday, I went out to the theater, and I saw Final Destination, Bloodlines. I was very, very excited about this. Yeah, I put my finger up for the Tribal Chief. Final Destination Bloodline. I was very excited about this because I love the Final Destination series. It's the 6th Final Destination movie, but it's the first one in 15 years. 14 or 15 years. And I mean, there are definitely some that are better than others, but the concept is just so strong. And every movie starts the exact same way. The concept is that there is an insane, elaborate death to start the movie. Like ridiculously elaborate that a bunch of people die in. And then after you see the whole death scene, you realize it was somebody's premonition and they're back to the start of it. And they try to escape it and try to get a bunch of people to escape it with them. Usually like 8 or something like that. And then those 8 people escape it. They go, what are you, crazy? What are you talking about? That's not going to happen. And they watch the thing that the main character just had a premonition for happen in front of their face. So everybody else dies. Then Death gets upset because those 8 people escaped the plan that Death had for them. And slowly but surely, Death comes and kills all of them. That's the premise of the movie.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I have not seen all the Final Destinations.
They're all amazing.
Have they ever gone into, like, the lore of, like, who, like...
Okay. This is a great question.
Okay.
Because, not really. Like, really, the first 2 are connected. 3 and 4, Tony Todd is not even in them.
Right.
Right, because Tony Todd, who is, like, an iconic horror actor, he played Candyman. Like, you'd know him if you saw his face.
Is he in this one?
Yes.
They got him before.
Yes.
Okay.
So he plays the mortician who gives the kids advice, but he's not in 3 and 4, which sucks. And they're not necessarily 3, 4, and 5 are not even necessarily connected. It's just the same kind of thing is happening. And so no, up until then, they hadn't really gone into lore.
Into, like, the why is this happening?
Other than the fact that...
Who is doing it?
Well, it's Death.
No, but I mean, like...
Death is doing it.
How is that explained? Like...
And so it would explain it, well, you had a premonition. Sometimes people have those. And you cheated Death, and now Death is pissed. That's how Death works. Okay. And by the way, Death is a fabulous queen who just makes these deaths as elaborate. Death is a theatrical bitch. Death makes sure that if you escape Death is going to be so elaborate, theatrical, violent.
Death is Bob the Drag Queen.
Gory. Absolutely. Death is like, well, what if a bird came and pecked off this string and then the birdhouse fell into a lawnmower and then the lawnmower came for you, but it just got your ankles and your feet were chopped off but then you tripped over because you had no feet and you pierced your skull through a croquet thing.
Sounds like Ralph Wiggum.
That's right. And then, right. So, I mean, but that's what the franchise is known for, the most insane, elaborate deaths.
You don't go in there thinking, well, this could never happen.
No. So this one, and I didn't really know what to expect because I knew Tony Todd was back for it.
Right.
And this is his last movie he did. This is the last thing that he shot before he died. And they said that this would be like not really a reboot, but kind of a kick in the ass for the franchise. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, you don't need to see the other movies to see this movie. And it is... I was worried it was going to be a reboot that didn't consider the other movies, but it actually created exactly what you asked for, which is, it's called Bloodlines. I'll just tell you without spoilers. Mm-hmm. Every other movie is exactly the same, and they're all great. That's why they're all great, because they're the same. But it's, okay, 5, 8, 9 people escape death. And now Death has to get them one by one. So the first part of the movie is figuring out what order they were going to get killed in, because Death follows the order, right? So in this movie, the opening death scene takes place in like the 1950s or 60s, like a long time ago.
Oh.
And hundreds of people are saved from it. And so Death takes so long to get through those hundreds of people. Some of those people, before Death gets them, have kids. So Death goes, you weren't supposed to have those kids, so I'm going to kill your kids. And some of them have grandkids. I like this. So I'm going to kill your kids, I'm going to kill your grandkids. And Death has to go, each time Death hits a person, he's got to go through the genealogy, right? So you have to, like, Travis, if you were supposed to get killed fourth, but I spent so long with those other 3 and now you have kids, well, I have to kill you, and then I have to kill your kids in age order before I can get to the person that got killed after you. So it takes forever
to
get...
Bloodlines.
right. That's where the Bloodlines comes in.
92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's bro, it's so good. It's so good.
Maybe I'll see you next week.
The opening scene is of all the and this is, I mean, this franchise is notorious for the plane crash death, the log truck death. Everybody remembers the roller coaster death. Everybody remembers like it's designed so that you do these mundane things and you're like, oh, that screw looks loose, or I think we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die horribly. It's the most insane, gory, nuts death to open one of these movies, I think, that I've seen. But what you end up realizing is, and they don't hit it over the head with a mallet, like some people get hit with a mallet, but they don't like the concept. The way I took it as, you could argue that now the other 5 movies are connected because they could all be connected to this thing that starts in this movie, and because it's been so long.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So why do these people have these premonitions?
Right.
Why are these people getting attacked by death? Because
like it could have started in the 50s.
They were supposed to go.
And the people who died in the first Final Destination are
could have
part
been
of
kids
that.
of the parents from the 50s. Now that does beg the question. In the first Final Destination, it was a plane crash. So was everybody in the plane crash connected to that, or were they going to be like, no, we're killing everybody in this plane just to kill you? You son of a bitch.
Casualties will happen.
Right, and casualties will happen, and then that death gets cheated. So that's where I felt like everything was connected, but it's so fun because you know what this movie is, right? You go into the opening scene, and they're like, hey, they built a restaurant that's in the sky. You take an elevator to get up there, and it's like 30 stories up. And you're like, wow, I know what's going to happen here. This isn't going to go well. And every single thing that happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie is just an omen. It's all a bad omen. They're driving there, and they're playing like Ring of Fire. And you're like, okay, somebody's going to get burned up. Like, you're looking at a champagne glass shaking. And you're like, okay, well, that champagne's going to break and the glass is going to do something. Like, every single thing. They're like, oh, this chef has high flames as he's cooking. Well, that's not going to be good for somebody. The chandelier is, like, dangling. There's a little kid throwing pennies off the roof. And the guy goes, you're going to kill somebody with those pennies. Well, guess what's going to happen with the penny? Like, and this is all happen. Every piece of conversation, every song cue, every action that happens is all like, hey, just so you know, a death's about to happen. A death might happen. It's like going through what's his name's arcade and having a guy going kill screens ahead. Billy Mitchell's arcade. There's a kill screen coming. There's a death about to happen. There's a death about to happen.
Final Destination, death about to happen.
Final Destination, death about to happen. Death about to happen. The big one. To start the movie, it's about to happen. It's happening right now. You're probably wondering why we're in the 1950s. Big death's about to happen. Yeah, and so then they bring back Tony Todd for it, and he's clearly, like, he's skeletal in frame. Like, he's clearly, this is his last thing. But apparently, like, his line in it, and I don't want to spoil it, but, so his line in it relates to the fact that death is coming for him too, finally, which had always been speculated whether he was, like, a babyface or a heel throughout all Final Destination.
We don't have to do that.
Well, Death is the heel. Right? So is he part of the heel faction with Death, or is he babyface? And but he delivers this line to end his scene that is about, like, yeah, I know death is coming, but all you can do is enjoy your life because you never know when it's going to hit you. And
That's
you're like,
a long line.
But you're like, oh, fuck. Like, he's talking about himself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The actor is doing it. And then I read that apparently it wasn't a scripted line.
Oh, really?
The director is like, just speak from the heart. Like, talk to the fans. You know what I mean? Like talk to him because this is it. And, like, yeah.
Do I benefit from rewatching any of them?
I didn't rewatch. No, you know what you do? Rewatch after. Okay. I'm going to rewatch after. Like, I'm going to rewatch next week at some point.
Because now you can recontextualize.
And recontextualize. Okay. You do not, there's no benefit, other than Tony Todd, there's no benefit to, other stuff. Like, you might see this little thing that you're like, that's a tiny buried Easter egg that's this, but,
Because I will probably rewatch I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
You got to. Well, I mean, I rewatch those every year anyway, so I don't know what difference it would make. Did you see too that in the promotion for this movie, they bought ad space on the back of log trucks?
And it's awesome.
If you look up Final Destination log truck on Twitter, Mike, yeah, it's so, because it would terrify me if I was on the road.
Yes.
With this log truck, because everybody, I mean, even if you haven't seen Final Destination, everybody has somehow seen the scene where that log comes off the truck and goes right through the windshield and smashes someone's skull.
And nobody drives behind a log truck now without thinking about it.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Try to get around that truck as quickly as possible.
I pumped the brakes. Yeah, see, like they had this log truck just on the highway, just driving around with logs on, with a big banner ad on it for Final Destination Bloodlines. Yeah, so I mean,
I'll see you next week.
You should see it.
I will.
It's awesome. And then rewatch all the other Final Destinations, because Final Destination rules.
Oh, if I have the time.
I don't know how well it's doing at the box office. I haven't checked at all, but
I mean, it's got great reviews.
Yeah, I am wondering, based on how good the reviews are and how good the reception is. Like, I loved it.
I think it did very well last week.
I loved it, and I don't know anybody that didn't enjoy it. Like, I don't see how, if you, like, look, it's a very polished horror movie.
Yeah, it was number one last week, $51 million.
Okay, $50 million. So I would imagine we're back. I would imagine we're going to get more. And that's also, I think, the genius of going like, okay, there were hundreds of people in this restaurant and they all had kids. Like, you can now, it's now set up a universe where you can go back and continue to make Final Destination movies, you know, to see what happened here, what happened there. So hopefully they do, because I think they're great. And they're so, like, you know, and I say polished because, you know, it's obviously a big studio movie. There's a ton of CGI. I think that I didn't see it in 3D. I saw it on the IMAX screen, but not in 3D. I think it's not distracting, but some of the kills made me think, oh, there must be a 3D version of this.
Oh, okay. Like they're designed.
Yeah. Yeah, because like it like shoots out towards the camera. Robert in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
What's up, bud?
Hey, at the end of Final Destination 5, they get on the plane from the first one.
That's right. That's right. They do. So, and I think that was how they put a ribbon on it, or a bow, if you will, to go like, okay, this was the full cycle, and this Final Destination 5 is the end. But then they, and you know, thank you, buddy. So it is connected, but 3 and 4, I think they just threw in there. But yeah, I think that it's a very risky thing to try to go back and tinker with the lore and get in there and go like, well, what if this happened and this explains that and that, and you run the risk of retconning, and you run the risk of being like, this is stupid, this doesn't make any sense. But they nailed this one. I felt similarly watching this that I did watching the first Scream reboot, Scream 5.
Okay, that was
I was like, yeah, I was done right.
That was great.
Right. Whereas I'm much more apprehensive going into Scream 7.
Oh, yeah.
And that scares me. And it doesn't scare me because it's a scary movie. Oh. It scares me because they're going to ruin my scary movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. And yeah, and they are doing, like you said, the I Know What You Did Last Summer redux, right?
Yeah.
With Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt coming back.
Yep.
And I had heard that they were trying to get Sarah Michelle Gellar back for it.
Oh, really?
Yes, but she kept saying, my character is dead. She died in the movie. And they were like, well, what if, like, she wasn't dead? And it's like, she died. I can't come back for this movie. The character died. It would not be good for the fan base, which I appreciate if that's a true story. I think that shows integrity if it's a true story.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer director, quote, tried relentlessly to convince Sarah Michelle Gellar to return to sequel despite her character's death. He says, I had to pitch some crazy shit.
I love that. I love that about movies, though. They're just like anything else. Like, if we can get her, we'll figure it out. This is the script right now, but if we can get her, we'll figure it out. Because people be so excited to see Sarah Michelle Gellar. What if she's a ghost like Obi-Wan?
No, yeah. She says, no, she's dead.
Yeah, I'm dead, dude. I died.
I was like, what if it's like you weren't dead and you're actually alive and hiding? And Sarah's like, I was on ice. I was the most dead person a person could be. You can see my frozen body. And I was like, yeah, but what if? And she said, I am dead.
I'm dead.
I am Sarah Dead Gellar.
And it's also like, unfortunately, financially, it's more difficult to convince her because the money's already going into the household.
Yeah.
FPJ, baby.
Yeah.
FPJ's already bringing home the bacon.
He's
no problem.
fine. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got this one, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't both have to do
You go
it.
talk about Buffy.
Yeah.
No, him and Jennifer Love Hewitt are back.
So I'm watching. I'll be there for it. It's going to be a great time. When's it come out? This summer?
This summer, yeah, because they put out the first trailer like a couple weeks ago.
That's sick.
And everyone got very excited because Freddie Prinze Jr. was in it.
That's sick. And I saw that, I don't know what this trailer is they put out for HBO's It series.
Welcome to
Derry.
Derry? Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. The It series.
I didn't even know about this.
I didn't either. I mean, the sequel sucked.
Which one? The one with Bill Hader?
Yeah, the second movie of the new It.
Uh-huh.
The first.
Right.
How this.
Because they split it in two.
Right. So the new It was in two. The first one was awesome. The second one was not great at all. And so I don't know.
Is Tim Curry in this?
That's the other thing. There was a shadow of a clown at the end of the It Welcome to Derry series teaser, and it looked like the Skarsgård It.
Oh.
Not the Tim Curry It.
That's a bummer.
I know. I like the Tim Curry It.
Yeah.
See?
Ooh,
he's got the puffy
maniacal
sleeves.
laughter.
But is Skarsgård going to be in this?
I don't know. I don't know anything
Me
about
neither.
it, and I didn't look after I saw the trailer.
Are you going to watch?
Maybe.
I mean, the Penguin was good.
It depends on reviews.
Yeah, and
This
I think
is one that I'm going to wait to see how it is.
I'm interested to see what they try to do because the Penguin was so well received that I feel like they're going to more and more be like, yeah, let's spin off to a series. Let's spin off to a series. But that's the problem that Disney had with Marvel.
Yeah.
And Star Wars to an extent, that it's like it gets to be enough. Most of the Star Wars series were still well received.
I mean, FX is doing an Alien series. I'm super excited for that.
Why?
Because Alien's great. Alien is great. Aliens is great.
But there's been infinity movies of Alien.
And most of them have been bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like at a point, it's like.
But some of them are good.
The
latest one was great. And I'm blown away that that's like the one franchise that you don't.
I'm not into
that
it.
you're not into.
I'm not a sci-fi guy, really.
But Alien is not like.
I mean,
it takes place in space, but that's
it's
just
aliens attacking.
But that's just the venue.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I'm never going to go to space. So what difference does it make to me?
You're never going to go to Derry.
I might.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair point.
Like, think about
if
it.
There's a Sheets there. You might stop.
100%. Like, the last blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the place I've always wanted to go is Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
I would love to go to Bend, Oregon. I can't justify it at the moment, but I would love to go. So if Derry was like, yeah, we have, a Wally's, I go, well, it's the town from It, and they got a Wally's. So I would definitely go to Derry. But I'm never going to space.
All right. Spoiler?
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is in it.
Okay. I mean, I was worried that he wasn't in it and they were going to dress somebody up in the clown suit.
Not every episode,
like
though.
Damon Wayans or something.
Oh.
Homie, don't play that. Pennywise, don't play that.
Homie the clown.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like this wasn't a clown-centered show. I mean, like at first, I figured if they're doing a series, they could do an anthology series because they've well set up that it is something that haunts Derry every, what was it? Couple of generations, every 20 years or 25 years or.
So this series follows the events in the 1960s leading up to the events of the first film.
I don't want that.
Why?
Because I want an anthology series of every time the town has been haunted by this entity. And it hasn't always been a clown. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. Like they set up.
Maybe that's what this is.
No, because it goes way back. It doesn't go to right before. I don't care about right before. Right before, they weren't haunted. Otherwise, they'd be like, oh, this is clearly the clown.
You're just shitting on stuff you haven't even seen yet.
Because.
You should watch Alien.
I'm not going to watch that.
You never even seen Alien?
I don't have the time for it.
You have so much time.
I got other things to do.
You got nothing to do. What?
Well, I'm not watching Sigourney Weaver, that's for sure.
Sell a Seth Rollins uniform?
I have to do that later today. You just reminded me. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do have to do that today. But
right, so don't watch it today.
Well, I'm not going to watch it today. There's no chance of that happening.
I mean, it is wild that you're sitting here saying, I'm not going to watch Alien.
I'm just not going to,
It's one of the best.
Everybody says it's great, but I'm not going to. Are you, Troy?
No.
There's a cat in it.
Okay.
All right.
It's a cat in a lot of things. It's a cat in a hat, for crying out loud.
That's right. That's right. Turn on Heathcliff if you want to see a cat,
Heathcliff.
He's terrifying the neighborhood.
I'll watch Garfield.
There you
Heathcliff
go.
is the poor man's Garfield.
He loves lasagna. That Garfield.
I love lasagna.
All right, so there's two things. You love lasagna, cats, Garfield's your show.
That's right.
I got other
Over
things
here
to
shitting
do.
on Alien.
What about
I didn't shit on Alien. I said I'm not going to watch it. I said it's not for me.
Alien vs. Predator? You didn't see that?
Yeah, what
I
about
didn't see
AVP?
Didn't see it.
Really?
I'm not worried about a Predator or an Alien.
I saw that.
Have you seen
You
Predator?
like that? No.
Really?
No. I don't like the, no.
It's Jesse the Body.
Yeah.
That's right. That was even before he was Jesse the Mind.
That is one of the most surprising things about you.
That's not my genre. I don't. Sci-fi isn't. I'll see it at some point, probably.
No, you won't.
I'm not
you
against
haven't done it by now.
I'm not against it if it comes. If the circumstance leads to it, but it's just not what I'm hunting down.
I find Alien to be far more in the horror genre than sci-fi.
I wouldn't know. I never seen it. I don't have an opinion on that.
What about The Fly? Did you see The Fly?
I love The Fly. The
That
Fly
was good.
rules. The Fly rules.
The OG or the
with Jeff Goldblum.
Well, there was an original one from like the 50s.
Oh no. I'm talking about the Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
one.
but that one's good too.
Yeah.
Fly 2?
I'm not into the sequels as much, but the Jeff Goldblum Fly is incredible. Incredible.
Because that's kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's more like 80s kitschy horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of kitsch.
Alien is from the same time.
But it's not kitsch, though.
No, it's not kitsch.
That's what I'm saying.
Sigourney Weaver's badass.
She looks good.
Right. No, she looks great. I've seen the photos. I've seen the stills. I got it. It's great. It's great. I just haven't gotten a chance. I haven't gotten around to it. But what
but you watch like Mall Massacre 4 or whatever.
You talking about Chopping Mall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch Chopping Mall because I've been in a mall. I've been in a mall.
You love it too.
I love Chopping Mall. Love Chopping Mall because what would happen?
You watch Jason Goes to Space.
I watched Jason Goes to Space.
You just said I'm not going to watch Alien because I'm never going to space.
But I followed the journey of Jason Voorhees to space. Like I'm already in at that point. I've watched him go to hell. I'm probably not going to go to hell.
Wow.
I hope. Fingers crossed.
Depends on who you talk to.
Well, maybe, but fingers crossed.
Fuck, you're so annoying.
Okay, so be annoyed. What can I tell you?
I know. I was annoyed with him earlier.
Yeah,
I get it.
You know what,
All right.
Troy? I get it. Yeah.
He likes what he likes.
Have you seen
he
it?
Shits on everything he doesn't like.
And have you seen a drop of sweat touch my brow?
Not for a second.
No.
You're not living the life you could be living.
I'm living one of the greatest. I've not encountered one person that I go, man, they're living a better life than I am.
It could be better.
I'm always making it better. I'm consistently making it better. But I am saying that Welcome to Derry, they blew it.
You didn't even watch the trailer.
They blew it because they established, even in the book it's established, that the reason that clown is in that town and the reason nobody will acknowledge what's going on is because every 30 years or whatever, horrific things happen in that town. And nobody talks about it and nobody acknowledges it because they don't want to acknowledge the essence. But there are children getting kidnapped and killed every 30 years or whatever. So, and then they go through the book. They went through the book in the Tim Curry one. They went through the book in the newer one. They go through the book of, oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, this happened. So if you're going to do a series about it, why don't you make it an anthology series and tell us the stories of what has happened over the course of the last 100 years in Derry?
Okay, it's not doing that.
Not what happened like right before Pennywise got there the last time.
This includes the origin story of Pennywise.
But the origin story of Pennywise is like 100 years ago.
Okay, so maybe they're going to do what you want to do.
But it's not an anthology series.
No, it's not an anthology series,
So?
but maybe they'll go back in time in the series.
I don't want flashbacks that happen when Georgie still had his arms. I don't care about Georgie. That's the whole point. They're going to go like, remember when Georgie was alive? Doesn't matter to me.
It's 9 episodes.
Is it an anthology?
I don't see anything that says anthology.
It takes place in the... We already know what Derry was like in the 60s. You know how we know?
How?
From It.
The movie?
Yes.
With Tim Curry.
Yeah, but also with Skarsgård.
All right, so I'm sure this, watch the I don't know what to tell you. You're being argumentative for argumentative.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes,
no,
you
I'm not.
are.
I'm
I back
putting
Travis on this one.
I'm putting forward a
No, you're just
salient
like,
point.
I feel like being in an argument
No,
today.
incorrect.
So I'm going to say this thing that I've never watched sucks.
You need to check your blood pressure.
My
meds.
blood pressure is fine.
You take your meds today?
I'm not on meds.
Well, maybe you should think
Maybe
about
you
it.
should.
He said I don't need meds.
Yeah, well, sounds like.
Watch what I'm eating.
Oh, you're not watching that. You're watching it go down your gullet.
You're watching opening the DiGiorno's box.
Yeah, that's what you're watching.
Oh,
You're watching that. You're watching that bread rise in the oven. That's what you're watching.
That doesn't affect your blood pressure.
You're watching that stuffed crust. That's what you're watching.
Love stuffed crust. When I see a stuffed crust on sale,
I mean, what is if your doctor says you got to watch what you eat? Like, if it's not DiGiorno's, if he's like, no, DiGiorno's is fine?
Yeah.
Oh.
I specifically asked.
I got to go see your doctor. You mean like frozen pizzas? No. You can eat as many frozen pizzas as you want. Yeah. That sounds like a good doctor, right?
So you're not on medication, so what is he telling you to lower your blood pressure with?
Oh, just, less sodium and stuff like that.
No exercise?
Well, yeah, obviously.
He's telling you exercise? And you let that just fly in one ear, not the other, right?
Yeah.
You gonna salt the popcorn when you go to the movies?
No.
Why?
What?
Because I'm trying to cut down on my sodium.
You're gonna put butter flavoring on it?
No.
You're gonna eat dry popcorn?
I'm not necessarily gonna get popcorn.
What? I don't even know.
I might get a large freestyle soda, not soda, like Powerade or High C.
Can you get a blast of cherry put in your Powerade?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I had yesterday. I had cream soda mixed with Coke.
See, that's fine.
It was awesome.
I don't need to eat every time I go to the movie.
It was good.
Yeah. How do you not have high blood pressure?
He probably does.
Because I'm fucking cool, dude.
He does. He has a weird way of staying very calm.
That's on the That's on the outside.
You think I'm panicking?
I've never seen him panic.
Bro, come on, bro.
It's weird.
I'm chill, dude. Because I'm a solutions-based person. I find a solution, and then I don't worry about it.
Yeah, you don't react emotionally whatsoever.
Because what am I getting emotional about?
You might be dead inside, or just very calculated and controlled.
Yeah, I want you guys to know.
He's a robot.
Oh, he's dead inside. Well, guess what? I'm not married to you guys. Okay, you're my coworkers. Deal with it.
You spend a lot of time with us.
Yeah, I thought you like us.
Yeah,
I like you fine.
You're just the employees that are here at this moment,
right? You know.
You love talking to us.
You're good to go. You're fine. But dead inside.
Yes. Well, I said it, but then I thought about it. I'm like, you have kids. I've seen you around your kids. You're very sweet around it. So you do have a soul.
Loving relationship with my family.
You love your wife.
And this is going to sting with you guys. You're not my family. So.
Wow. Where were your work family?
Yeah.
I don't have a work family. I have an actual family.
Work family.
And I have people. Do you understand if I took this work family thing?
Yeah.
That.
Juggalos.
If you're all juggalos, that is a different scenario.
I don't see any juggahos.
You know how many jobs I have? I can't do work family. Like the family reunion would be insane. I'd have to get an arena.
I mean, we've known you for almost 20 years.
Outside of your real family, you've spent more time with us in the last 20 years than anybody else.
And when have you seen me not be cool?
No, you're pretty cool.
I'm a cool dude.
Yeah, you're cool.
It's all good.
Well, like baby.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler.
But I'm saying that's why I don't have high blood pressure.
Because you surround yourself with cool guys.
No, I don't do that. But because here's the thing. You don't sweat the petty stuff. You pet the sweaty stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Just come up with that now?
That's a me. That's a dash Sam.
Those are smart words.
Put it in my bio. Well, no, I don't know about this dairy show. I'm worried about it. But what I'm not worried about is what's going on HBO right now. Have we all caught up with the rehearsal? Are we caught up?
Oh, yes.
With the rehearsal, the Nathan Fielder show, the rehearsal, season 2. Season 2 is better than season 1, and season 1 was fabulous. Season 2, I mean, I have never before seen a show where every episode of the season ends in a dead end. Total dead end, and they have to start from scratch for the next episode. Like complete, let's build to this thing, and it will lead to a thing that will build to the next episode. And instead, it's like, we'll build to this thing. Here's a brick wall. Here are the credits. Hope you tune in next week. Like, it's crazy. It's the opposite of how television has ever been made before. And and that's one of the many things that makes it insanely compelling. So he's done a bunch of stuff inside this show, within the show. And he did it last year or last season too, with the rehearsal, where it's kind of like a blend of multiple shows that exist inside this one show to the point where you don't even know what you're watching anymore. But we were talking a couple weeks ago about the premise of this show, which is he's realized that a lot of plane crashes he believes happen because the pilot and the co-pilot don't communicate well. And so he's on a mission to raise awareness for this and to figure out ways in which pilots and co-pilots can communicate better. So in order to do this, he recruits many pilots and he recruits many co-pilots, and he builds an exact replica of the George H.W. Bush Airport in a soundstage. And I mean exact replica. The statue's in there. The P.F. Chang's is in there. The gates are in there. The security's in there. Everything is in there. And so within this show, he goes, one of the pickles that he gets into, and I mean every episode, it's a different pickle. And every episode, he's created this whole other thing where the bystanders that are involved in this show are going to think like, oh, I'm part of this show that he's doing. And they have no idea that it's all just for a 5-minute bit on this other show. Like the effort and the detail and the money that is put in to what is ultimately going to be 3 to 5 minutes of one episode is nuts. And he's come into some controversy with it. Somebody broke their NDA because one of the things that's on the show is he created a singing competition, which we were talking about a little bit when he first started it, called Wings of Change. Wings of Voice. Wings of Voice. I don't know why I wrote change. Wings of Voice. So Wings of Voice is a singing competition that is judged by co-pilots. And the reason that it's judged by co-pilots is because he wants co-pilots to get more comfortable with giving their pilots bad news. So if he can get these co-pilots to be a judge on a singing competition reality show, and they can tell people whose dream it is to be a singer that they can't go on to the next round, that they will become more comfortable giving bad news. And the pickle that he gets into, which he explains on the show as you're watching the show, is that like he also has to have winners then. So he has to promise that there is a prize and all this stuff when he doesn't want to do it. And so at one point on one of the newer episodes, he fully acknowledges that because he realizes something, he no longer really has a purpose for the Wings of Voice show. But he kind of just has to do something with it. So he does a medley with all the people who advanced onto the round. Mike, if you could find that medley, I'm sure there's a video of it on Twitter. But he does a medley with all of them just singing a royalty-free song just so he can start his episode because he promised.
Why is it royalty-free?
That they would do something. Well, he decided to go royalty-free. All of the people who audition and all of the performances have to be done with royalty-free music in order to save HBO money. I mean, there are even points in the show where like he's getting complimented for, doing like for putting his own money into this cause, and he goes, well, not my money because it's HBO's money. But this person decided, and I guess everybody signs NDAs, which means they have to pay everybody as well. But this person, Lana Love, has decided to break her NDA and gave a whole backstory behind all of this. She says that Nathan Fielder created a fake singing competition for the rehearsal, and one contestant lost $10,000 and feels betrayed. Quote, I signed up to be a singer, not a lab rat. Which, when you're watching, you go, there are human beings here that, like, it's almost the delusional nature with which they're chasing their dream makes them vulnerable to stuff like this. And on one end, it's a good lesson to not be delusional, but on the other end, you do feel for the people that are being subjected to this thing that is ultimately hilarious. Especially because the prank is not on them. Like, they're not the butt of the joke, but they're so unnecessary to what's actually going on that they build in their head this, like, I'm going to be the star of this show, when in reality, like I said, they're a couple minutes on a scene. Like, this has nothing to do with anything. To the point where Nathan says, I don't really have any use for this show, the Wings of Voice, anymore.
And people they're actually crying.
They're crying because I didn't even know this culture was even still around, but I guess the dreams don't go away. Like, I don't remember the last time a star was made off of a singing competition television show. Like, it's not even a thing. It just becomes, you go on the show. Like maybe Adam Lambert, because he started touring with Queen.
I'm sure some of like the even lower level people you haven't heard of, I'm sure they were able to sort of turn it into something.
Maybe. What, they get a job at Universal Studios singing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But it's still this, like, this thing that we saw when American Idol first started is still, like, permeating. And Nathan said that he used to be a producer on Canadian Idol, and he And he gets people to sign up. So this lady, Lana, she said she flew from her home in New York to Los Angeles 3 times on her own dime. Which, I mean,
it's weeks and weeks and weeks.
At a point, you're going, this is the risk that you're taking. You can't sit there. If Nathan is going, or his production crew is going, hey, if you want to fly in, you can, and you're doing it. That's kind of on you at a certain point. But she said she flew from New York to Los Angeles 3 times on her own dime for separate auditions and separate tapings for Wings of Voice, which was filmed on an HBO soundstage in Hollywood. She said that she spent $5,500 on travel, lodging, and hair and makeup for her 3 trips to L.A., and as a vocal teacher in New York, she lost out on nearly $4,000 in canceled lessons. Okay.
So that's how she gets to the $10,000.
Yeah, $9,500, close to $10,000. But listen, if I go to Jim McClure and I go, hey, I know I got to do this radio show you're paying me for. Can you pause my payments because I got this dream? And he goes, okay, we can do that. And then
no problem.
2 weeks later, I'm like, one more time. And then another 2. Like, I do it 3 times in a row. At some point, he's got to be like, what are you talking about?
Well, no, I don't necessarily think that's crazy. Like, if you're in a singing competition, like, they take weeks and weeks and weeks.
But you're flying yourself out there every single time?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, Idol doesn't fly people in at a lower level.
Especially for the audition
when you're still
stage.
going through the audition stages, yeah. It's like, we'd love to have you back if you can make it.
But I also don't think that there's anything more... Like, I don't necessarily think you have a better chance of becoming a pop star flying in over and over again for American Idol than you do flying in over and over again for Wings of Voice.
No, I don't think so either.
You know what I mean? Like that, and it's almost, that's the whole point of this, is that this is so absurd that it's exactly the same as any of these reality shows.
Right, like, but people who want to be famous are just going to keep doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
She'd be telling the exact same story, though, if American Idol had her do it.
Yes.
So I'm not 100% on why Wings of Voice is misleading, because it wasn't actually a singing competition.
That's why.
Yeah.
Well, but it was.
I mean, technically, I guess you could say.
It was. I mean, there was a select group of people, and she was in this group. She said she was first contacted about Wings of Voice in summer 2024, which means a year ago.
By the way, this is what I love so much about anything that Nathan does, is that when this comes out, people go back and they find things. And there's Reddit threads on like singing competition subreddits talking about this audition.
I love that this NDA was broken.
Yeah.
Because no part of me is going like, oh, Nathan, he's a bad guy. This is actually going like, oh my God. Okay, so finally we're getting like the slightest peek behind the curtain to how any of this absolute insanity can possibly happen. Because when you watch this show, it doesn't make any sense. So she said production held her in a waiting room during the first audition for 3 to 4 hours and then told her to perform Old MacDonald Had a Farm or Yankee Doodle. Which, like, okay, right there. Aren't your antenna going up a little bit? Isn't it a little bit of a red flag that it's like, these are the only 2 songs? Like, we're a singing competition show, but we haven't cleared any music rights whatsoever?
You're there, so it's like, what are you going to do? Say no and go home?
But then 2 weeks later, you're going to go like, oh no, I'm going to fly back for it? Maybe I'll get to sing, I don't know, the national anthem? Before she could belt out her chosen children's lullaby, so she went for Old MacDonald. She was sent home without explanation. And then she flew back to New York, and about a month later received an email congratulating her on making it to the second round.
Yeah, congrats.
Which, honestly, I'm sure that's how they work. She got paid for that.
She got paid for it?
Well, when she flew back, she got, for the third taping, it was a SAG-AFTRA contract. So she was paid $12.50 for the third taping.
All right, so she got something.
She got something, which included 10 hours of rehearsal and 1 day of filming. Dude, you watched the show.
Yeah.
You saw what this ended up being.
Oh, yeah.
10 hours of rehearsal for it.
For that one.
But, like, I love that. I love that. I would love to have a show one day where I had a crew, and I'm like, yes, you guys need to work with this group for 10 hours. For the 30-second bit that I have. It's going to be funny. Like, you just have to do it. Okay, we just do it. And then they do it. You know?
I think about that a lot. Like when I see like I'm watching the new season of Conan O'Brien Must Go.
Yeah.
And there's parts of it where he's like in elaborate costumes and like it's hair and makeup and prosthetics and it's 10 seconds.
Right. Or by the way,
and that took hours.
I'm sure there are many scenes like that where they finish it and they just go, you know what, fuck it.
Yep.
And I love that. I love
So
that.
do I.
It's how you actually get to quality stuff when you like take ego out of it. Well, we filmed it. We have to show it. No, you don't.
But we spend so much time on
Who cares? Throw it in the garbage. It didn't work. Okay. Film something else. She says in addition to, with additional group of contestants, they were fitted for costumes and told to stand on stage for hours lip syncing. Love says they were paid background rates of $180.
That's good.
She said the day before her final taping, she put the pieces together. She did not. I don't think she did.
No, she did. Keep reading.
Well, I did. I've read it.
You think she's lying at this point?
I don't think I think a lot of times people go, I knew at the end. I could tell when they didn't really know. I think, or she got these facts, but she kept lying to herself.
Yeah. Yes. Like the Williams.
Right. I believe that she got these facts, but I don't think she went, you know what, this is probably a prank.
She wanted to keep believing
She kept believing
because
it. That's what I think.
Not me.
Right.
I'm
because,
too smart for this.
Exactly right. Because here's what happened. Yeah, because it says here she started noticing cracks in the facade, which really strikes me as when you convince somebody to wear khakis to work and they go, but here's the fatal flaw. And it's like, no, dude, you're wearing khakis. There was no fatal flaw.
No, you did that.
Yeah. So she Googled a few of the crew members and found one thing they had in common. They each had worked for Nathan Fielder's previous projects. Love wasn't familiar with Fielder, nor had she seen nor interacted with him on set, but she had heard his name whispered around among the crew. Don't let Nathan find out. Nathan's coming.
Yeah, I don't buy that part.
No. She wants to make Nathan seem like a bad
Like a villain.
Yeah. Which I'm sure Nathan thinks is great.
Also, you don't know who Nathan is? That's a red flag.
That's a red flag too.
Yeah.
Who's Nathan Fielder? It's like
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Next thing you're gonna tell me you don't know who Tim Robinson
Yeah,
is.
we don't have anything to talk about.
No. She began reading about the rehearsal and Fielder's previous show, Nathan For You, realizing he was an expert at devising large-scale comedic set pieces. Case in point, another contestant recognized the Alligator Lounge, a real bar in Brooklyn that Fielder replicated for the first season of the rehearsal and then kept in the airport soundstage in season 2. Which that is true.
That is true.
Because he brought the bar, he recreated a bar from season 1, and he liked it so much that he brought it into the airport for season 2, which you just loved it, like.
So that all the pilots had a place to drink.
Right. And like when they on the show, when like they want to like have Nathan talking to people on the show, it happens in the bar from season 1. But also, they didn't destroy the set. Like they kept it. It's been years. They kept it on the soundstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you they keep the airport for season 3.
I bet they do, because that's funny. And then
I believe that. I believe somebody could have been like, I know that bar. I watched the rehearsal.
Oh, yeah. I believe that 100%. Because people who watch the rehearsal go to that bar in Brooklyn. Yeah. So then this happens. This is like, they said at the beginning of like, I don't know, episode 5 or something like that. This is where Nathan said.
4, I think.
Episode 4?
I think we just watched 5.
Okay. Nathan said, I didn't really have much use for the show anymore. But I did promise everybody that they could perform on HBO. So I let them do this medley of Amazing Grace. And this was the medley that all the contestants did.
Yo, Grace is amazing.
It sounds so sweet, I can taste it.
Any wretch she'll catch you, save you.
What a sensation, man, it's amazing.
Grace!
It won't be all celebration today for our talented singers. 40 of the faces you see up here will be going home tonight.
But I was finding it hard to stay focused on the competition with everything I'd been learning about these pilots.
Unfortunately, you will not be advancing.
So it's the.
It was sort of shocking.
And Mike, if you go to the other video, that's the pop punk version, and that's where she is.
She's in the pop punk version. Yes, they go through every genre, singing Amazing Grace, and then they just make one of the co-pilots send people home. But Nathan doesn't care about it anymore.
No. Do we know which one is her?
Yeah, when we get to it, I'll I think she's the one right in the middle. Her.
The one that was just singing a minute ago? I mean, they brought in LEDs. They brought in all this stuff, smoke machines, and Nathan's just like, whatever, dude. I don't know about this.
I have no use for this anymore.
So, yeah, so now all is exposed, and Nathan Fielder just continues to do his show as he was doing it before. I think it was this same episode that he realized there was one instance of good communication between a pilot and a co-pilot, and it was Sully Sullenberger.
No, that was the episode before that.
Was it before this? Oh, right.
Yeah, because I think this is when...
There's so much bullshit that happens on this show that you can't... I thought this was the beginning.
No, you might be
Sully
right.
was the last one. So we were at 5, it was 4.
I thought this was the beginning, and then he just kind of moved off of it and went to Sully.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, because it makes you think this is the whole premise of the episode, but he literally just lets them do it and goes, okay, here's what the episode's about today. Like, it has nothing to do with this. Right. I mean, it was like the episode before this was the one where he found a couple.
You're right. That was that, and then the episode before that was the one where he tries to get the co-pilot and the girl to like kiss.
Right. So the episode before this one, first at the beginning of the episode, he finds this couple who cloned their dog. And I don't 100% remember why he even put this in the show, but he found a couple who had loved their dog so much that they cloned the dog. And then they said they got lucky and they got 3 of them. So they have 3 of these dogs that are clones, not the same breed, clones of their original dog. But they're upset because because the dogs don't have the same personality. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he decides to rebuild their apartment and have actors move in as the 2 of them and brings in one of the dogs to try to train the dog to start acting like the old dog. And then he completely moves on to something else, where now he's trying to get this co-pilot to go on a date with a girl to try to open up. There's an older lady on talking about how Einstein made her wet. She said she had a wet dream about Einstein. And he said, can women have wet dreams? What is that like? And she goes, well, I wasn't dreaming. So he said, she said, I was awake. So he said, so you were just wet. And she said, yeah, I was wet reading about Einstein as a child. And so all this is going on. He starts trying to recreate as an elaborate way to recreate the date and to try to get them to like have chemistry together. He gets all these actors in to then start performing love scenes in different apartments that looks like this co-pilot's apartment. And then as all these love scenes are happening, he's just watching these couples improvise love scenes together. And he's walking with his laptop on his carrier and just like creepily watching them. And then he gets very, very fascinated because he doesn't understand how in acting you can really like kiss and touch and be intimate without cheating on your partner. So he brings all their partners in, all their boyfriends of the women actors who are like literally like making out, taking their shirts off, like going as far as they want to. And Nathan just says, you go as far as you want to. And then he has all the boyfriends watch on monitors.
Bunch of Cheyennes.
And he talks to all of them as they're watching, like goes to the most intimate parts and goes, this doesn't bother you? No, she's acting.
She's playing a character.
She's doing her thing. And then they, of course, like after the girl makes out with somebody for like half an hour, they film her going and like kissing her boyfriend on the cheek. And it's just like so uncomfortable.
So weird.
But he does all of this from this perspective of, I'm curious. I don't understand how humans interact. Like I'm just learning about all this. So then on this episode, and then by the way, at the end of the episode, they go back to the dogs. And I'm like, I fucking forgot about the dogs. And you realize that there are actors that moved into this apartment and lived in it for days. They invented a light that could mimic the sun rising and setting. And they lived there clearly for days and days and days and days and days.
Because they're trying to get these dogs to act like the original dog. And he realizes that they were the original dog was raised in a different area of San Francisco or something.
That's right.
So he goes and gets the air from San Francisco and he's blowing it in the dog's face.
I forgot about that.
He gets the air from San Francisco. He gets a truck to drive to San Francisco, collect air, then has this blower that just blows air, and then they take the dog on a walk and blows air in the face of the dog. From San Francisco. And they're like, I wonder, that's not working. That's weird. But then I'm thinking about these people, these actors that lived in this fake apartment on a soundstage for days and days and days and days. And it's like 2 minutes of this show and it has nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. Like, they could have easily cut it and it would have made no difference whatsoever. Unless it's going to come back up later, but it probably won't.
At the last episode, something will come up about it.
Right.
It'll tie it all together.
And you go, remember the dogs? And you're like, no, I don't remember the dogs. I guess now I do.
It's so brilliant.
And then, so this was last week's episode with the pop punk band and Sully.
Yes.
Yeah. And he realizes that Sully Sullenberger and his co-pilot had good communication. So then Nathan dresses up as Sully Sullenberger so he can recreate landing on the Hudson. But then he realizes, while he's having this documented conversation, that he doesn't have enough context. So he gets Sully Sullenberger's book, and he reenacts his entire life from when he was a baby. Because Sully Sullenberger starts when he was a baby. So Nathan creates this entire insane set where he still plays Sully, but he puts on a ball cap and a diaper and creates a set where everything is huge so he looks like a baby. And then he uses giant, like, marionette puppets to portray the parents so they can be huge, which includes a breastfeeding scene where there's just a big fake titty pouring milk onto Nathan dressed as a baby. And it goes and goes.
Swallowing him.
I mean, it is insane. And then they're little kids. And look at it. Just trying to absorb the milk, and he's in like an old, 1930s baby outfit, and this really creepy marionette is breastfeeding baby Nathan.
Like a 2-story marionette.
Right, and Nathan is on strings so that the marionette can carry him. But in reality, he's just being held up because he wants to understand what Sully was going through, which I don't understand. But it devout, and then they get to the point where he's now a toddler. He's got his sister who's wearing this really creepy Twilight Zone looking mask to look like a little kid. And his parents are on stilts, which, I mean, the whole thing is so Lynchian.
Yeah.
It looks like a David Lynch movie. This whole thing. Like, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it all is to lead to a point where Nathan realizes that throughout all this childhood stuff, Sully doesn't mention popular music until 2005 or whatever. Like, that's the first time he mentions ever hearing any popular music. And he realizes that he doesn't mention popular music until the year that the iPod comes out. So clearly Sully had an iPod. And then he goes through the music that Sully would like to listen to when he starts talking about the popular music that he liked to listen to. And he realizes that Wake Me Up by Evanescence was a song that Sully liked. And then when he does the research into the crash on the Hudson, we finally get back to the crash on the Hudson. And he's going, okay, he landed on the Hudson. I'm listening to the black box recordings. I'm listening to the tape, right? And he goes, there's 23 minutes, or 23 seconds of dead air, like 23 seconds that they're not speaking. And then he realizes that there's 23 seconds is the exact length of the chorus to the Evanescence song. And he goes, well, Sully was listening to Evanescence this whole time. And that's where the episode ends. And you're like, what the fuck did I just even watch?
Hey, maybe don't mention the
And then he says, don't mention the AirPods. Don't mention that I was listening to Evanescence on my iPad. And he says Sully's iPod was found submerged.
Yes, it was.
And I can only picture now Sully watching this show, The Rehearsal, going, what the fuck are you talking about? I wasn't listening to Evanescence. Why would you say this on television? He's like, I think you were. I think you were. Charlie in Arizona.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
So I typically love your show.
Yes.
I've been in the car for 30 minutes, and I kind of got a headache. Like, what the fuck are y'all even talking about right now where you have a whole 1-hour segment of... Sounds like you're just reading the notes from...
Bro, that's what this show is. You're just sitting there.
I don't even know what show you're talking about.
Well, I've said The Rehearsal like many times. You've been listening for a half hour, and you haven't picked up that we're talking about The Rehearsal.
It says it on the pad.
I mean, it says on the pad.
I don't,
page.
yeah, no.
Are you look at your radio, Charlie? Are you in your car?
Yes.
Look at your radio.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It says Cavino. Hold on. Serious Faction Talk, Sam Roberts Show,
Right.
The Rehearsal.
Okay.
There you go.
Look at that. Bob's your uncle. You could have done this without wasting your minutes. You didn't have to waste your cell phone minutes.
Oh, I didn't waste anything. I just wanted to talk to you guys.
Well, appreciate the call, Charlie.
Here we are.
Here we
Bob's
are.
Your uncle.
And here we are. Bob's your uncle. Thank you, Charlie.
Bye, guys.
I mean, again, if you don't know anything about The Rehearsal, you're just hearing us talk right now. It sounds
insane.
It sounds absolutely fucking insane. But trust me when I tell you, this show is so hysterical.
But that's the point, too, of having this conversation.
Yeah.
It should sound insane.
Yeah.
Like, vocalizing what is happening in front of my face, I'm working through it myself.
And when you watch an episode, you literally, at the end of it, are like, what the fuck did I just watch? What is happening here?
I mean, the newest one, he's trying to get in front of Congress now. So now, by the way, the reality show, done. The Sully angle, done. The dogs and the thing, done. The getting guys to watch their girlfriends make out with actors, done. All this stuff is over now. Like, none of it, like, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. Now he's like, you know what I need to do? I need to get in front of Congress. And he realizes that Congress won't see him because he's a ridiculous comedian. But he finds a congressman or whatever, a representative, who is on this aviation committee, but also is a big autism guy. Like he supports autism awareness and all that. So Nathan decides that that's his way to get in. He goes to an autism sort of support place, right? And they are very familiar with the show. And it becomes very clear that the person, the wonderful woman who runs this place to support children with autism, is fairly sure that Nathan is dealing with autism, you know? And Nathan becomes aware that she might think that he's dealing with autism, to the point where she gives him the autism test. How did you guys do on the eyes? When she starts asking Nathan, because he goes to this autism place, and the lady who runs it starts asking him about the eyes.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was 0 for 2.
I nailed them both.
Really?
Yes.
But I thought I had really good guesses.
Well, so did Nathan.
Troy?
I got the first one wrong. The last one I got right.
Okay. You were 0 for 2?
Yeah, but I guessed really quick. I was like, that's...
I took my time. I did take my time.
Yeah, let's see where we're at.
I took my time. I did. Yeah, I did take my time. But like,
it was also 4 options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were very similar.
They were similar. Like, annoyed and upset are very similar. But I still nailed both of them.
And it was very pixelated. It was hard to see what was
That's what Nathan said.
Yeah.
Nathan failed both of them.
But I
also,
love
you're
how
watching.
long he took.
You're watching, and you're like, you don't know if he's failing them on purpose
You're
because he
right.
knows it's funny.
Right.
Like,
I think he was.
And I like that he's like, all right, well, like, okay, we get the point. We get the point.
Yeah, we don't need to. We don't need to do this. Is this the scene, Mike?
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit of it.
How this group thinks. She showed me a demonstration to explain how an autistic person's brain differs from the rest of us.
This is a test called Reading the Mind in the Eyes. And this is a very well-known and valid, reputable test. And it asks the question, how do you think these eyes feel? Or what is the person thinking?
Okay.
And autistic people have a very hard time figuring out what someone else is thinking.
Okay. All right.
So how would you rate these eyes? As playful, comforting,
He's looking at
irritated, or bored?
Okay, yeah.
He's looking at it like he's lost. Like,
yeah, definitely
I'll say playful.
comforting or yeah,
Comforting.
bored or comforting.
Or maybe playful, but
Is it? Well, yeah.
let's put one and see what happens. We'll put comforting.
wrong.
Oh,
Incorrect.
okay.
Incorrect. It was playful.
Playful. All right, yeah. So, I see, I guess it's...
Like I think
Next
he's doing this
one.
all.
Yeah, exactly.
Which word describes what they're thinking and feeling?
Oh, yeah. The images are pretty low res.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, just because they're...
Terrified,
Pretty low
arrogant, annoyed, or upset.
All right. Okay, yeah, so I think I got it, yeah. So you're saying these people have trouble with this, you're saying?
Yes,
that's the point
right.
you're trying to make?
That's right.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Choose what you think on this one.
Yeah, terrified maybe.
it's wrong again.
So upset.
So it's not.
But this is
I
a
get
very
it.
difficult test because it's very, very
Right.
subtle.
Yeah, for sure.
And even like we would disagree, perhaps. On
Right.
these.
All right. Cool, yeah. Was there anything else with this you wanted
Nope.
to show me?
I felt like I got the gist.
So yeah, in order to get clout, so he can go meet with this person, so he can hopefully get in front of Congress, so he can talk about airports, he has to like support autism. And this is where I go back to him like creating these elaborate things. He brings all the kids with autism to his fake airport so they can get more comfortable with airports, which is a wonderful thing. But if you look,
he didn't want to.
No. He said he didn't want to because people got mad at him for using child actors on the last season. But she convinces him. But if you look at the photo that they all take together,
Oh, yep.
you notice that, right?
Yep.
He's wearing shirts that say Nathan's Airport on it.
Yeah.
And he's never explained that.
Right.
So already I'm like, wait, he like went a full extra mile to like create this thing where this is Nathan's Airport and it's this place where you can come in and these kids can experience this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just the only hint of that on the show is in the t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Just the photo.
And then after all this, he's successful. He gets a meeting with the guy because he does the thing with autism and he's got the t-shirt. Brings the kids to the airport. He takes the test. He does everything. And he meets with this guy. And then the guy goes and Nathan finally like starts with autism, brings it back to flying, tells the guy like, okay, so should we get this in front of Congress? And he goes, well, I think,
Something to think about.
yeah, it's something to think about. I think if pilots and co-pilots got along better, that would be a good thing. Nathan went, okay. And he went, all right, well, thanks for coming. And just ends the meeting. They're not going in front of Congress. And you're just watching Nathan go, oh, okay, I'll pack my stuff up then. And he's packing his stuff up. And then the credits just come on. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of any of it? It's just another brick wall.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing, but I'm so glad. Aren't you glad that it exists?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I looked. I got bad news.
What?
Next episode's the last one.
Oh, is that
What?
Yep.
6
We haven't
episodes?
gotten anywhere. How could next episode be the last episode?
Are you sure?
Well, I'm telling you what it says on the wrap.
Okay.
Okay.
What does the rap say? You're an industry guy. I know you read
It
the
says
trade.
episode 1, and it gives the dates, and it's episode 6 is May 25th.
What's it?
Right.
What's the title of the episode?
Oh, it doesn't say.
Oh, it doesn't say. Huh?
My Controls.
I mean, what the hell? How many episodes was the first season?
I'm checking right now.
Like, I just want it to go on and on forever.
I could watch it every single week.
Me too.
Especially because, like,
You know what? Season 1 was 6 episodes.
I mean,
And season 2 is 6 episodes.
we're not anywhere near anywhere. We're nowhere near anywhere.
It's one of the
Okay.
funniest comedy shows I've seen in a very long time.
Okay, if you've been somehow listening to this whole description of what's been going on, by the way, this is only the last 2-3 episodes. This isn't even the whole series.
Right.
Like, if you've been somehow following what I've been saying, I haven't even been following what I've been saying.
Yeah.
If you've been somehow following it, now understand we're about to hit the season finale. What could you do in the season? I mean,
He's gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
we haven't done
I
any.
mean, unless he actually goes in front of Congress.
But we know he doesn't go in front of Congress because we would have heard about him going in front of Congress.
That's right.
You know, like that would have been news. So he doesn't go in front of Congress.
Wouldn't you love to understand how this show works?
I mean, days. I would want to work on the show just so I could get a hint of what's happening.
Because I mean, you probably come up with an idea and then you just hit like a dead end, and then you have I have to figure out a different way to go.
But like shows are written in advance,
Right. Like, how far is he writing out?
But because it's also like on one end you go, right, exactly. You go, it feels like he's just making it up as he goes because there's all these dead ends, but everything is so elaborate that that's impossible.
Right.
He couldn't be making it up as he goes because the next scene, he's prepared for something that I understand how television works. It's not actually 5 seconds later, but it's also not 2 months later.
Right. But I mean, think about it. If you're going to recreate an airport, an exact airport, and have like a statue of George Bush.
Right.
Like, I mean, where do you come up with a statue of George Bush that you can have for this episode that's identical?
You have to make it.
I know. So, like, how long does that take? How long does it take? And
and it's just because I want there to be a scene where I'm staring up at the statue of George Bush.
It's insanity.
That was the first time I remember seeing it.
I didn't remember seeing it before. But also you wonder, like, did he recreate the statue and then go, oh, we've got that statue, maybe I'll film a scene with it? Or was he like, oh, I would love to stare at the statue, we should rebuild the statue, but make the face kind of shitty? Because it wasn't a great likeness. You know what I mean? Like, make the face kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Or does he just see that the face is kind of shitty and go perfect? Like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
And, like, I've watched everything this guy does, dude. Everything. I've watched all the Nathan For You's over and over again. That whole show, The Curse, was unbelievable. I watched the first season of The Rehearsal twice. I have no clue.
And think about how many people are casted. I mean, I'm sure you have to learn who these people are. You have to learn about their love life.
And what the hell happened to the co-pilot whose girlfriend worked at the Starbucks?
I know.
What happened?
Yeah, do we get resolution for that? We don't know.
So this week is the finale. I'm glad we talked about it.
I know. I'm so bummed.
Wow. I mean, and look, honestly, there was no resolution in the first season of The Rehearsal either. It didn't go anywhere. It turned into a lesson about, like, Judaism. Remember?
Yeah. I got to go back and watch one.
It's great. It's great. It is an amazing experience to be able to watch them back to back to back to back to back.
I'm going to do that next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Well, look, I hope you've learned something from this.
Watch The Rehearsal.
Watch it. I do think that. I think if you haven't seen The Rehearsal and you just listen to me drone on about it, it probably was like, what the fuck are you doing?
And if you like ridiculous comedy that you're just like, what the hell is going on? You're going to love it.
But yeah, and I think if you've watched The Rehearsal at all, this becomes a much more enjoyable conversation.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's nonsense. Utter nonsense. Man. I love it, though. I absolutely love it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. A little bit. There you go.
There's more Sam Roberts Show after this.
Summer is here, and Comedy Central Radio is kicking it off with a Memorial Day Marathon. You'll hear back-to-back hours of Comedy Central stand-up specials from John Mulaney, Nikki Glazer, Jim Gaffigan, and more.
I don't understand the people who don't like TV. I just prefer reading. Have you watched television? It's way better. There's pictures, there's sound, and most importantly, no reading.
It all starts Monday at 7 a.m. East. The Comedy Central Radio Memorial Day Marathon. Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on Sirius XM.
He's going to fire up a three for the win!
Don't miss a second of the action all the way through the NBA Finals.
It's good from the left wing. Jalen Brunson is red hot.
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
There are certain guys that you need to be a part of your roster to win NBA championships.
Listen to home and away broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the Sirius XM app.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, there was a time where there was a stigma around therapy, and I'm so happy that stigma has been broken. We all kind of know. Maintaining your mental health is just as important as maintaining physical health. That's what BetterHelp is great for. But there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say they've avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. We're not judging anybody here. This Mental Health Awareness Month, let's encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/Teft to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TEFFT.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-222-5585. 800-222-5585. Again, that's 800-222-5585.
These statements have not been reviewed by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do these 3 words make you cringe? Calcium oxalate stones. If so, then this message will be a huge relief, because now there's a kidney health supplement that has shown in laboratory tests to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. That's right, 99%. It's called Kidney Cop, Calcium Oxalate Protector, and nothing else